Good morning, good evening, good day, whatever time of day it is that you're joining us live, watching the Aim Down Sights podcast, episode 22. So welcome everybody, welcome chat. Excited for everyone to be here, excited for our guest to be here. Fantastic. And we're just going to kick into everything. So joining me this week, obviously Nero, my lovely co-host, and we have the amazing Clute joining us as well. And please, chat, give a warm welcome to him now. It is his first podcast, and so we're so super excited to have him here. I hope you enjoy the show, and I hope you have a great time on here, Clute. But we're going to kick off with some intros very quickly, find out what everyone's been up to, what everyone's been playing, and I'll start with you, Clute, since it is your first show. What have you been up to? What have you been playing? How are you? And thank you so much for joining us.
What's up, everybody? It's your boy Clute. Thanks for the invite, Nero. Thanks for the invite, Panda. I'm doing great. I'm ready. Absolutely. What I've been playing this week, I'm playing a lot of Black Myth Wukong. Currently in Chapter 5. I'm having a lot of fun with the game. Some caveats, some performance issues, but I'm here for the positivity, so yeah, it's a fantastic game.
You playing that
Also,
on
I'm
PC
playing
or on PlayStation?
Unfortunately, I'm playing the PS5 version.
That's okay. We won't hold that against you.
Yeah, I like my console. I always stay with my console, no
Fair
matter
enough.
what brand it is.
And
Absolutely.
what else have you been playing? Anything else?
I'm playing a lot of Baldur's Gate 3 on Xbox. It
Love
may
that
be, it may well be the best video game ever made, and I'm not even joking.
You
Like,
have to
this
convince
game
Nero.
takes the art. Absolutely, this game takes the RPG genre to the next level. This is the new benchmark, 100%.
Wait, which game was
I'm
that?
really enjoying it.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh my lord. Yo, this how we starting the podcast off, yo.
2 against 1, Nero, this week. 2 against 1.
2 against 1. Yo, hey, everybody back me up in that chat, man. You know what I'm saying? Baldur's Gate ass. Now I'm just playing.
Oh, Dirt Griggity, hello from in the chat. Yes, it is your homie Clute. And he's calling you a pony bot.
What's up, Dirt? How's it going, man?
Okay, all right. Nero, I know you're not feeling the best today, so do what you can around your energy levels and such, but what have you been up to? What have you been playing this week?
All right. So, you know me, I'm always playing a plethora of games. And yes, chat, it is true. I'm not feeling good. You feel me? I'm feeling, I don't know, a little head cold, but I don't give a damn. I have a beach trip next week. I'm going to Myrtle Beach for the first time. So that's huge. I don't give a damn. If I'm sick as a dog, I'm going out there. I'll be masked up. I'll try to keep my distance from everybody, but I am going. So last week, you guys know I beat what's the name of it? The Dark Anthology Pictures Little Hope, and I really enjoyed it. And I was able to grab Man of Medan for $10 this week on sale, and I had an absolute good time with that game. Like, I actually enjoyed it way more than I thought. I enjoyed it so much I started a fresh playthrough because I want to get the ending where I purposely get everybody killed now. So I'm gonna purposely fail all the QTEs and stuff like that. I want to do a cool video for October and fall, ranking all 4 games, and then I might have a bonus section where I talk about the ones that's not from them, like the Until Dawns and the Quarry. But yeah, I just been playing a little bit of that. Been enjoying Starfield. Awesome update. Game of the generation just got better. While everybody,
Facts.
while all these pony bots was crying on Twitter like the little bitches they are, you know what I'm saying? Oh, flip-flopping, non-gaming ass guys. We was out here enjoying the plethora of great games, news, trailers, updates, and we got so much to talk about tonight, guys. So, yes, I'm not feeling well, but I don't give a damn. I'm like Batman, yo. When the community needs me the most, I'm going to show up, yo. And also, I got to shout out Avatar Frontiers of Pandora one more time. I've been playing that. Definitely miles better than Horizon, Forgettable West, and Zero Dawn. That snooze fest of a game. Madden 25 absolutely sucks. I'm gonna be doing a review on that. I've been playing that as well. And that's pretty much it, yo. I've been playing. I don't know if you guys ever heard of a game called Deceit 2. Panda, I know you don't like this game. Yes. Excuse me. Sorry about that.
Yeah. Is it a horror game?
Yes, it is kind of like a horror multiplayer game. Please don't ask me to describe it because I would have so much trouble describing it. But the homies, we played a couple rounds of it. Just imagine like Hellblade but horror. It's so weird, yo. But I definitely want to do a community night. I was talking to the homie J Rock about it. Shout out J Rock. And I said, yo, we got to get the community together. Yo, chat, yo, this is an Xbox podcast, so I'm about to start holding y'all ass to the fire. I want to have a Forza Motorsport community night. Like serious. I want to have a Forza Motorsport community night, yo. We got to set it up. I want to get
Motorsports or Forza Horizon. Both are optional.
Both, honestly, both. Honestly, I wouldn't mind either or. Like we've had big link ups in Forza Horizon before, but I've never had a multiplayer race in Forza with just all the homies, like 15, 20 people. I think that'd be really dope. But yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Nobody says. Forza Motorsport is fantastic.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They are great games. I've actually been playing some AC Mirage and also some Borderlands 3 this week. So
nice.
Yeah, been kind of dipping my toes back into some Borderlands, and it's nice because what the announcement was at Gamescom, so the opening night live show, and I was super excited to hear that there'll be another Borderlands. I love the art style, absolutely love the art style, and so it's really nice to get back in and play some of those games from that IP because they're so much fun. And they don't take themselves seriously, and we need a bit of humor at the moment because everyone is doom and glooming everything.
It's just so sad that the movie is as bad as it is, you know?
Do you know what's funny? If you load up Borderlands 3 and it's got recent news, and it's like, as soon as you load it up, you get a ad for go to the Microsoft store to watch the movie, like go rent the movie, because it's done so badly that it is going straight to like streaming services.
Hey, they need to get that shit away.
They need to get some money back. Some money back. Yeah. Which is kind of sad though, but it's like there's so many better ways to do gaming IPs in that medium. Like as a TV series would have been a better option rather than a big blockbuster movie.
I agree.
Like Fallout was fantastic. The Last of Us was fantastic. Like even Arcane on Netflix, absolutely probably my favorite adaptation of like pulling a gaming IP and putting it into that type of genre. And then we had that announcement during Gamescom. I cannot remember the name of that. What was it? It's coming to Amazon Prime. Something levels.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about,
Someone
but I
in the
forgot.
chat.
Yeah, hey, chat, help us out tonight. There's so many announcements from Gamescom, it's absolutely insane.
I literally can't remember all the games that have been announced at Gamescom. But I'll just quickly remind everyone that we have Clute joining us all the way from Europe, from my understanding. So it's like 1 a.m. where you are. So thank you so much for joining us. I'm going to try and keep the energy going today. But we'll see how everything goes.
Absolutely. I see you guys in the chat. Yes. This is me, Clute, aka Abdel114, just for the record.
We have our first super chat of the night from Red Wolf. Can't stay filming a wedding, but wanted to stop by and show some love. PS Stalker 2 will be amazing. Y'all should
Yes.
check out the new footage. Yes, it looks
Yes,
so
yes, yes,
good.
yes.
Does look good.
I'm so excited for Stalker 2, yo. Like, I'm so excited. Super excited.
I am too. Like, all the new gameplay, it looks fucking-tastic. Yeah, so
And
good.
everybody want to talk about frames, but nobody screamed from the rooftops that Stalker 2 UE5 running at 60 on the Series X, but they want to scream from the rooftop when a
Yeah.
single player RPG, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's a lot of weird stuff
Nero,
going on in the Xbox community.
You know what the issue is? They're calling out Stalker 2 saying it isn't Xbox first party, so it doesn't count. That's their excuse.
They might not want to talk about first parties the way Concord is looking over there, but we're definitely gonna get to that. Like,
I mean, considering that like we're putting games on their platform because they don't have any. I think they should be a little less hostile. But thank you, Red Wolf, for the super chat.
yes, thank you so much.
We can get into some topics. So, do you want to lead off the first one, Nero? Just a quick news topic about Overwatch 2 and the new season.
Oh yeah, definitely.
What you're excited about?
Yes, let me just bring up the docs. Everybody, I'm so discombobulated today. I literally got in 5 minutes before the pod started. Panda, no, that's not like me. I'm usually in here at least 10. At least 10
At
minutes.
least 10.
At least 10. All right, so guys, Overwatch 2. Now look, every week I come on here and say, yo, I'm going to download Overwatch. I'm going to play. Listen, I'm really going to download it tonight. That's my word. Like I said, I'm going to be gone the first half of the week next week on a little vacation, much needed. So I do want to play a little Overwatch. So we got Season 12, New Frontiers is now available. You have a new support hero called Juno. And I'm really excited about that because in Overwatch, I'm a Mercy main. I'm a Mercy goddess. Like, I will keep you alive. And that's why I would love to play a little more Overwatch with the community because I'm such a support character, no matter the shooter. Like, even in Battlefield 2042, right? Yeah. I would run around with my healing gun and I would just run around rezzing people all day. Like, just that's I just thrive off of doing that. Apex Legends, I'm a Lifeline main. So in Overwatch 2, I love being Mercy. So I'm definitely interested to see what the new support hero Juno is talking about. We have a new mythic. We have a new core game mode called Clash. We have a new battle pass as expected and shop skins. We got a competitive rank reset, balancing changes. We got an Overwatch 2 and Warcraft collaboration and much more. So guys, make sure you go check out the new season of Overwatch 2 if you want to see what a real hero shooter look like, a real thriving hero shooter looks like, and a first party shooter that has over 600 players. So yeah, definitely make sure you check out Overwatch 2. I'm going to be playing, guys. Make sure you add me on Xbox, JaymarleyTV. Eventually, when I get the spare money, I'm going to just go ahead and change my gamer tag to an updated name if nobody steals it. But yeah, JaymarleyTV. Check me out. I definitely would be jumping into Overwatch.
You know, Fucky's going to steal it, right?
Oh yeah,
He's going to change his name so you can't use it.
Somebody going to make a Next Gen Nero gamer tag and be like, see, he's a fraud. He only has 18 gamer score. Definitely. So should I do you guys have any 2 cents to add about Overwatch new season?
I don't actually play Overwatch. I'm not a big hero shooter type fan. They just don't really interest me. I played a little bit of Overwatch, the original like Overwatch before, and it never stuck with me. And I highlighted that chat very quickly. Outrageous discussing Overwatch on Concord's day. Concord had its day and it's dead. And we're going to talk about that in a second. But Clute, is this a game that you've played before? Do you enjoy a bit of Overwatch?
Like, I played a lot of Overwatch back in the day. Like, it could have been for sure my game of the year, 2016. I got maybe 1,000 hours spread over all different platforms. But I didn't really get into Overwatch 2, unfortunately. Maybe I'll check it out. Maybe like Next Gen Nero.
Definitely, man. I like I said, I enjoy Overwatch. If I'm gonna play a hero shooter, I'm gonna play the best hero shooter. And right now, I definitely think I'm not sure if you can call Apex a hero shooter. I think that's I don't know. I don't think it would fall in that category with it being a BR and everything like that. But Overwatch 2 is definitely solid. Like I said, I definitely enjoy it. You know, just like any competitive shooter on the market, you deal with your cheaters, you deal with your bullshit, you deal with your bad teammates, you deal with your brain dead teammates. But I mean, that's just what it is, right? But yo, listen, enough about the real good hero shooter. Let's get to this. Let's get to this breaking news, man. Let's get to what everybody is here for, man. Let's
What
talk
is it?
about Concord, PlayStation's biggest flop of 2024. I would argue it's their biggest flop of all time, man. Currently sitting at a magnificent, an amazing, a spectacular, a glamorous, a beautiful, a gorgeous 68 on Metacritic right now, with a total of probably 115 people playing it as we speak. This game,
Bro, it's
I mean,
66 as we speak.
it's a
Oh,
66. It
66 now?
dropped.
Oh, it
Jeez
Yeah.
dropped since they
Louise.
updated it. Oh, 66.
That
Okay,
is
quickly
that
fix
is
that.
that is
Wait,
that
how
is
many
something.
reviews has it got now? I'm curious.
Yeah, I'm about to go look too.
I'm gonna go have a nosy.
I'm very,
But what was your like? I think we kind of understood based
it has
on
8 reviews.
the closed beta and the open beta, how this game was going to perform, and all thought that they were going to delay it and give it some more time to cook and add more content, add more game modes, add a bit of life into it because it has, I guess, good bones as a whole. Like it, but it's got no longevity and not enough to it to go, you need to be playing this game over something like Overwatch, over something like the Marvel's Rivals, whatever that game is, and even like Fragpunk and other hero shooter games that we've got coming out. But Clute, what are your thoughts on this? You're our guest. Jump in there, have your say. Are you surprised about Concord? Are you, yeah, what's your take on the whole
Let's be
Dead
honest,
on
ain't
Arrival?
nobody surprised about this. Everybody expected this. Like, I'm gonna be honest, I tried Concord in its beta. I'm gonna be honest, I enjoyed the few rounds at it. I really like the gunplay. I like the verticality. I like the different characters to use. Let's be honest, this game has no chance surviving in this market. A $40 game on top of your PlayStation Plus subscription if you're on console. Ain't nobody gonna play that, let's be honest. And for me personally, no console war, I'm really glad this game failed. Let me explain why. I hate how these spreadsheet mafia, that's how I'm calling them, the spreadsheet mafia,
Mhm.
the managers, the executives, they see live service games are hot, let's do live service games. Back in the day, MMOs were hot, let's do an MMO. Call of Duty is popular, let's do a Call of Duty clone, let's make this, let's make that. Instead of coming up with your own creative plan, you're just following the rest, you're following the success. That's what really disappoints me. So yeah, me personally, I'm glad this game failed, so it gives a wake-up call to the spreadsheet mafia. Just like Suicide Squad. Like, I'm a really big DC fan, but I'm glad Suicide Squad failed just so Rocksteady can go back to make what they're good at.
Yep.
Just that's what I'm hoping is going to happen with
And I actually
Concord
enjoyed
and with all of
Suicide.
Sony.
Yep.
Yeah, I played it for a few hours. I like the game. But
What
like everybody else, yeah.
what killed me is the new Miss Freeze, and I'm talking about it at extent.
Ad nauseum,
you know.
you've talked about it.
Hey, go woke, you go broke. I don't give a damn. You feel what I'm saying?
Facts.
Hashtag Concord got more pronouns than it has fucking players at the moment. That game
Facts.
that game is absolutely. I'm sorry, Clute. Go ahead. Let's first of all, Clute, for this to be your first podcast, you're fucking killing it. You're speaking
thanks, man.
mad fucking facts, yo. So I don't want to cut you off. Go ahead, because when I get started, I'm going in, yo. Fuck that game. But
When he gets started, I just mute him.
yeah, exactly. Panda usually step away, go take a shot, go
Kick
take
him
a
out
drink.
of the show.
Facts.
Yo, Panda will cut her camera off right when I get started on my rant. She'll be like, "Be right back."
Just
What
rolling
she's
my
really doing,
eyes.
she's going to she's pouring up some whiskey and she's leaning against the window, looking at her next door
It's a
neighbors
hard
having a
day.
domestic dispute. Like, yo, what am I doing?
Like,
Like
what's more interesting than Nero talking?
Nero ranting.
I love you, Nero. I do.
love
Sorry,
you as
Clue.
well.
Continue.
That's it. That's all I was really gonna say. Like a few years ago, EA Sports made a game, Knockout City. For instance, I really personally liked that game, but everybody knew that game was gonna fail, that game was gonna shut down in a year. Like, come on. Yeah, your game can be a good game. That's not all it takes to have success in the market. Like, I'm really looking forward to Fragpunk. Fragpunk has more chance of surviving
Definitely,
in this
yo.
market.
Fragpunk got old,
Absolutely.
yo.
If you're an insider, if you're in the insider program, it's currently available as a closed beta.
I just signed up for it.
Yeah, I've got to download it. Yeah.
Yes, start of October, I'm ready.
And
Like
and
Marvel
so is,
Rivals is coming out. Overwatch 2 is getting update after update. Ain't nobody gonna play Concord. Even if it was multiplat, even if it was on Game Pass. Ain't nobody gonna play that.
yeah, it's
Just
true.
my 2 cents.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Like I said, I
Nero.
like the game. I personally like the game. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Jump in.
I want to say, first of all, shame on fucking you, PlayStation people. All of them, from the top to the bottom, to the devs getting offensive and calling people weird for not liking their weird ass characters and shit like that. I'm sorry. Like I said, go woke, you go broke. That shit is ass. I'm a black man in America. Where the fuck is the normal looking white guy at in that game? You can't find them. They're trying so hard to appease everybody else that they didn't focus on, hey, let's just make a good fucking shooter. Let's just, and it's so funny because you got the two completely different games, right? You got Wukong, which, and they email say, hey, yo, look, no overly woke shit, no triggering feminist shit, whatever. The game launches, is the biggest single player game of the year and probably of the generation so far. Then on the other hand, you got Concord with all this woke shit trying to appease this. They literally had hashtags for woke shit on the Steam page that they went back and took down. So for me, that shit kind of pissed me off because they had hashtag LGBTQ on the Steam page, which to me I feel like is no problem, but they should know in this world, in this climate, it's so many bigots out here and it's so many people that's not comfortable in their own skin. So you see it every day. You see the DAI shit. You see people, talking about boycotting Assassin's Creed. You see so much bullshit going on. So you think devs will have just a little more awareness than what they have? And these guys had no awareness. They had no backing from Sony, apparently. People always talk about how Starfield marketing sucked, right? Okay, cool. People always talked about how Hellblade 2 marketing sucked. Okay, cool. People always talked about how Xbox doesn't market Indiana Jones, this, that, and the third. Okay, all that shit sounds cool. But when Xbox games launch, you damn right they do fucking good. You understand what I'm saying? They do good. They get played. Starfield was responsible for the biggest increase in Game Pass subs for one singular game launch. Huge. Hellblade 2, for it to be a single player 4-hour, I was told 4-hour walking simulator, still had more concurrent players than Concord. Quadruple the amount of players.
Cliffy B's failure.
So, and the reason I say shame on them is because, as we laugh and joke, we laughing and joking now, but the reality of the situation is everybody and their mama gonna be sad and crying this time 2 weeks from now when that studio closed down and it's a bunch of layoffs, which is really sad because the game itself don't look bad. And I know my Xbox homies might not agree with me, but the game doesn't look bad, and it do look like something that if it was free to play on every platform, I would definitely jump in and I would definitely give it a chance.
$40 price tag is...
The $40 price tag is outrageous. You have no history of putting out good, consistent shooters or games that can last, as in, live service games. And, they took a risk. And by taking that risk, it could very well be the demise of this studio. PlayStation, if Insomniac, their best studio, is not safe from layoffs, Naughty Dog is not safe from layoffs, then you really have to feel bad for these people right here. I hope they land on their feet. I'm not trying to jinx it. I'm not trying to speak into the future, but it's pretty much set in stone, and it's sad because it's easy to console war. We an Xbox podcast, so yeah, we're gonna laugh. Ha ha ha. More players, less players than Redfall, which Redfall is the better game. Redfall got shitted on for a plethora of reasons, but Redfall is an actually decent game to people who played it. Just like I'm pretty sure Concord would be a decent game to people who played it. The point is, people is not playing these games. People is not supporting these games. You hear all year, support the devs, support the devs, support the devs. And then when these games come out, they don't support them. Jim Ryan was not wrong for making Insomniac and Naughty Dog go work on multiplayer games, you lazy sons of bitches. All you guys do is put out the same 2-3 games. Spider-Man 2 is really Spider-Man 1.3. I'm not even going to say 1.5. It's really 1.3. You got Mary Jane being more of a hero than Spider-Man. That shit is ass. It's just not it. And since I'm on it, I want to highlight my guy, Demo Flow Gaming. He put out an absolutely amazing diss track, an actual song. hashtag fuck ponies, the album coming soon. Nero, we gonna tag team. I'm gonna hit the studio. But he put out a really dope song. If I wasn't sick and had more time to prepare, I would have had Panda bring it up in the background. We would have played at least half of it because it is a decent lift song. And he absolutely snapped when he went Spanish. And he started rapping in Spanish at the second half of the song, And I was like, that's absolutely
It is good.
fire,
It is lit. I love it.
It's definitely lit, man. Definitely an amazing song. And shout out to Demo. I seen some of the bigger Xbox people trying to, go at him and throw shots over the Indiana Jones situation because I don't want to. I know we on Concord, but just to touch on some of the gloom and doom real quick. I'm sorry that other people having access to my games at full price don't make me want to go sell my Xbox. I'm sorry that I'm a real gamer, and when I see other people getting my games months or weeks or even years later, that I'm not upset and jumping out the window. It is what it is. Microsoft is not the party leader. They're not the number one selling console in the market. So it makes sense for them to want their games on as many screens as possible, as many possibilities as people to buy their games as possible. And people laugh now and call for Phil Spencer head to roll. They call for Aaron to get fired. They call for that beautiful black queen, Sarah Bonds, to get fired. When in reality, they're just ahead of the curve. PlayStation is always late. Xbox put their games on PC day one and started doing that years ago. Here go PlayStation just now catching up. Microsoft is putting their games on PlayStation right now. So years from now, when the PS6 Pro launch and all that shit like that, then you see the Insomniac Spider-Man Trilogy Remaster or the Wolverine Remake 2.0, 3.0 coming to Xbox. Don't be shocked. You heard it here first. This is just something they're not going to be able to afford. But yeah, man, RIP to Concord. Everybody pour up a shot, roll up something, smoke something. It's sad. It's sad. And you see the big people making fun of it as well. You see Tom Warren on Twitter. Yo, Concord is bad, but it's not Gollum bad, yo. It's not Lord of the Rings Gollum bad.
No,
but if we going by the numbers, it is Lord of the Rings Gollum worse than that. Like it has lower numbers than that game. And that's absolutely
it's not
embarrassing.
Crossfire X bad.
Yeah. Hey, look, hold up now.
I'm just
Crossfire X was underrated, man.
Well,
no, that game was horrible.
I like the campaign. I like the campaign.
Yeah,
I like the campaign. The multiplayer was just not no. Plenty of other multiplayers that are out there doing it better. I agree with everything you both have said, like 100%. I'm actually just surprised that Concord, the PS5 version got 8 reviews.
That's
when
crazy.
Usually we're used to seeing like in the 50s and the 40s for PlayStation exclusives or PlayStation
even for third-party games. Nah, Panda.
Yeah.
Even for third-party games, if you look up
third-party,
if you look up Call of Duty, let's just look up
it's
Call
dominant
of Duty.
on the PlayStation.
It's dominant.
Yeah.
You got PlayStation with 100+ reviews, and you always get. That's why most Xbox third-party games have a higher Metacritic than PlayStation. Not because they better on Xbox, just because it's less people reviewing the game. So you might have 30 reviews on Xbox, all giving 9s and 10s, and then you got 150 reviews on PlayStation Metacritic, where it's a plethora of mixed reviews. So,
yeah,
but for some reason, this game right here got 8 reviews.
Yep.
At a 66 Metacritic.
Yep.
This is hilarious, man. It is. I never root for games to be bad, and fail. Like this is gonna fail, but it's currently failing. But the writing was on the wall. We said this last week, Panda. We said this weeks ago. We said this at the PlayStation Showcase. Listen, Rhetri.
I saw it first showed.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We all said this after we all watched the PlayStation State of Play. The State of Decay.
Generic.
You feel what I'm saying? It's generic. It's ass. I think Fragpunk is definitely going to be the better game. The way they do the cards and the dynamicness of the game that is Fragpunk, I think that game is going to be pretty good. And it's embarrassing because PlayStation actually had a hit this year, and it was Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 was a hit. Shout out to Try Hard for mentioning Helldivers 2. And they should have took care of Helldivers 2. They should have treated that like their baby. But instead, they got money hungry. They know that Helldivers 2 was mostly sold and played on PC.
They did ruin the hype.
So they tried, they for what they did, because they know that their games don't sell well on their own console. So what they do with forcing the PSN thing on people, they do that to inflate the active numbers, the users, to make it seem like it's being more played on their own in-house console than it really is. And that came back to shoot them in the foot. It came back to fuck them up. And people be like, well, you got to sign into Xbox such and such and such. But I'm like, whatever the case might be, this Xbox has been doing this for 2 generations now. It's not nothing new. So they PC integration with Game Pass and Microsoft accounts, people are used to it, right? PlayStation is just now catching up, putting their games over there. So of course you're going to get a lot of outrage when you try to force people to do things they don't want to do. PC players is the most spoiled sons of bitches on the market, and so are console players. But they really the definition of I do what I want. They cheat when they want. They buy games when they want. They fucking pirate games when they want, and they don't make fucking unnecessary attachments and other accounts connected to their accounts just because Sony woke up and said, "Hey, you gotta come on, man, it's dumb." They killed Helldivers 2 and they killed Concord before it even launched. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Very quickly, why do I have a moustache?
Yo, fuck you! You're a menace, yo. That is such a funny mustache, yo. That is funny as fuck.
I don't even have a nose now. I've got a mustache instead of a nose.
Hey, that's gonna be Panda. That's Panda when she switched sides to PlayStation at the end of the year when we all
so no one can tell.
Like, yeah. Welcome to the Aim Down Horse podcast show.
I think some people have made some really good points. Like Blue Arrow said, feel bad for the devs because they spent 8 years working on this game, and I agree. I also just think a lot of it was PlayStation and Sony specifically going, where are the market trends? It's live service. Where can we be making money? And then they saw this, and it's been 8 years ago. This would have been perfect if this was released maybe a couple of years earlier, but it's the market itself for hero shooters is so saturated. Everyone's trying to do everything, and we're not seeing enough of it doing anything different to make it stand out. There are also too many games the second half of this year, so it's just going to get lost in all the noise. And unless you are an established IP like Overwatch, you aren't really going to make a dent. And that $40 price tag is probably the biggest freaking mistake they could have done, and I 100% agree with the chat around. They basically kneecapped themselves. Unknown IP, make it free to play, get the people in trying it, because that's what it is if it's free to play, people are going to try the game, and if they like it, they're going to stay, and if they really like it, they're going to spend money, and that's where you're going to get your microtransactions. But it just feels like they didn't trust it enough to maybe go as a free to play because they wanted to make some money back on that investment, and they haven't. They have not. Not many people pre-ordered it. Not many people played the closed or open betas. Not many people have picked it up now. It is not doing well on PC. We don't know how it's doing on PlayStation, but I assume it's really quiet. Fuck, you made a good point that usually with PlayStation there's a lot of advertising everywhere with their games, and there hasn't been a lot. And I think they looked at maybe Helldivers 2 and said, okay, well, we charge this much for Helldivers 2, so we're going to follow that same option when we deliver Concord, and we're going to charge it at a lower price because we know that Destruction All-Stars, $70 initially, and then that became free-to-play or went into the PlayStation Plus streaming service or whatever day one. And so I think they're trying to figure out how do they launch these games, and they're not doing a very good job about it. Redfall, yes, you called out Redfall. It's done better, and we're not seeing the same fanfare of all the doom and gloom articles that came out about Redfall that we are seeing about Concord, because it's just a complete stark contrast between how they report on first-party Xbox games versus first-party PlayStation games. And you can call it out whatever you want to call it out, because Xbox didn't get the same level of, acknowledgement as they inherited that game. And yes, it probably should have looked at it a bit more when it came to Redfall as to should we have delivered it or not. PlayStation bought the studio and inherited that game in that regard. But they really should have let it sit for another year, maybe decided a better time to launch it, because it's just getting annihilated by everything else around it. People are looking at their calendars and deciding, what games am I wanting to play, knowing that there's DLC coming, knowing that there's brand new titles coming out left, right, and center. Space Marines. We've got Starfield DLC. We have. I can't even list how many games are coming out at the end of this year, but it's insane, and that means that next year is also going to be insane. It's just really sad to see that this game feels like it's been left out to die.
Yep.
Because it doesn't have the support from PlayStation. It doesn't have the support from the
E-Ranks just said something like so on point. There are more people making excuses for Concord than people actually playing Concord. That is 100% right.
Yes, but like the people who like play PlayStation games all the time, like it still blows my mind. There's only 8 reviews. Because do you know why? You shouldn't have launched a game like this week during Gamescom. Because what is all those people doing? They're either at Gamescom or they're writing articles about the games from Gamescom and such. It's just a really bad timing. Unless it's a juggernaut and it's a brand new IP, it's just
and the thing is too, right?
I feel bad for the devs.
Sony, I feel bad for the devs for sure. And Sony don't know how to budget their games. You know, most of their games is way overly budgeted. And I feel like this game will be no different. So it's definitely going to be repercussions, whether people lose their jobs, whether the studio get, shifted around, or, maybe even Marathon in the future get canceled. Sony is having an identity crisis. They don't know what their fans want. See, they look around, they look at Switch players, they look at PC gamers, and they look at Xbox gamers. They know what we want. Xbox know what their fans want. They've been delivering it to us all generation. A plethora of great games. Nintendo know what their gamers want. They've been getting a plethora of great games all throughout the Switch generation. PC players and gamers know what they want, and they want whatever the fuck they want, so they can get whatever from any console. So everybody has their identity of what they want. Sony is spiraling. They've been spiraling all generation. They don't know what they want. They don't know what their fans want. They don't know what direction they want to go.
Yeah.
And this game flopping just guarantees that we're going to get Horizon Zero Dawn remastered sooner than anybody would want to make up for the loss. And also, to make up for this loss, because this is a financial loss, regardless of how this game is the biggest flop of the generation. Like we said, everybody make fun of Gollum, but guess what? It had more players than Concord. Like that is actually embarrassing. So it's something is gonna happen. Some heads is gonna roll. Some other games is gonna get canceled. So it's definitely sad. But this is kind of this is what Sony get. Instead of them putting the resources and finances into building great games in a great studio, they choose to keep spending their money to keep games off of Game Pass and keep games off of Xbox. You know what I'm saying? They keep spending money to be anti-consumer. They never spend money. Nowadays, when Sony spend money, it's not into the benefit of their consumer. And you can say no company does that, right? When Xbox spend money, you can say, hey, it's for the greediness. But at the end of the day, when Xbox spend money, we benefit. They spent money on Activision. Look, we got Crash, we got COD. We got COD coming day one to Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get all those older Activision games eventually in the Game Pass. So it's like somehow we benefit, right? Sony fans have yet to benefit from Bungie being bought. They haven't benefited from this Firehawk studio being bought. They don't benefit from anything, right? And you guys say that this game was in development for 8 years. When did the woke and pronoun shit come into development? Because 8 years ago, nobody was talking about pronouns. Unless I'm mistaken. 8 years ago, nobody was even woke. Nobody was even talking about woke shit. Right? Nobody, all that DEI, all this shit really just came about the last few years.
Because it's come to fruition, it's now around. Everyone's looking at it with that lens, and so they'll see it everywhere.
So my whole thing is, did you spend 4 or 5 years developing a game, and then on the last 2-3 years, because it's the hot topic in the media and the hot thing to do, the last 2-3 years, what you say, okay, let's throw a bunch of woke shit or a bunch of shit to try to set us apart into this game? To me, that's corny, because that wasn't the visual plan from the jump, it doesn't seem like. So, Panda said, still weighing which one flopped first, Foam Stars or Concord. Yo, Foam Stars had a little run, man. It wasn't a long run, but they had just a little tiny
They survived like a week.
Yeah, Concord was D.O. fucking A, yo. Like, literally dead on arrival, man. So, absolutely embarrassing, man.
It hasn't been a good year, though, for studios, for developers, for some games, unless you're doing something different, you're just really lost in amongst everything else. And
Yep.
it's just sad to see that this might be one of those games that just could destroy the studio, or they could just absorb them and put them onto something else, because 8 years of putting time, energy, and money into that. And how long have they been a first party studio? Because PlayStation would have been, Sony would have been putting money into this studio to deliver this game. So that's just kind of feels like you're not getting any return. It kind of feels like you're not getting any return on your investment in that regard for this. But I think they're meant to have like two type of expansions, or something happening with that game, so it might last a little bit longer than we think it does. Around like they'll have content to keep delivering, and maybe they'll deliver that, and then that's all we hear about it. But I don't see it picking up steam because people aren't talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And so,
and like I said, we can make fun and blame Sony and blame Concord, but at the end of the day, the fans need to show up. You got 50 plus million PS5s on the market. Sony has literally given y'all no games this year. Y'all been surviving off of third party time and exclusives literally all generation, with the few outliers and examples like God of War and Spider-Man, obviously, and a bunch of remakes and remasters. Besides that, they've been hanging on by a thread. So the fact that a new game comes, and like I said, I will be honest, Concord don't look horrible. It don't look like what we're used to, because we're used to great shooters and shit from Microsoft and from who we go to get these shooters. But from a PlayStation perspective, when you guys have literally no games over there, this is probably why they felt the need to cancel all those other multiplayer games. The Factions 2 and the Twisted Metal multiplayer game that was coming. If you guys don't support none of these games, they're not going to feel the need to continue to try to make any of these games. You know what I'm saying? So it's definitely on the fan base a little bit, because you guys can make fun of us about Redfall all you want, but at the end of the day, thousands of us showed up to at least give the game a chance. No matter what the media said about it, thousands of us.
I turned it on when they launched the 60 FPS patch.
Yep. As soon as they launched that price, as soon as that patch got, the 60 FPS patch came, guess what? I was in there, I played it, I reviewed it, and I actually enjoyed it more than what I thought I did.
Yeah.
That was one of the games where 30 FPS didn't feel good. We have to admit, 30 FPS of last gen versus 30 FPS this gen is two different 30 frames per second. Whether it's the frame pacing, whether it's the implementation of a good motion blur and per object blur. We have to stop acting like 30 FPS on the 360 is the same as the Xbox One, and then 30 on the Xbox One is the same on the Series X. No, it's different technologies behind the scenes that can help these games feel smoother. And I say that because if you go play Forza Motorsport, if you go play Forza Horizon at 30 FPS, it feels good. Even now with Starfield being 60 FPS, sometimes I go back to just to get the most of the visual in the quality mode at 30, and it doesn't feel like a big drop off. So I'm not here to defend 30 FPS games, and we will get to that topic, because that's another point of gloom and doom from the dumbass, fake ass Xbox community. These fake ass gamers, yo. And this is why I say I don't just blindly rock out with one side. Like, yes, Xbox is my preferred platform and my go-to, but just because we both like Xbox don't mean I'm going to stand by your side, arm to arm, kumbaya bullshit, because I don't respect a lot of these people as gamers, yo. And that's why it's a few PlayStation homies that main PlayStation that I really fuck with and I really like. Wreck the Hero, Tryhard, he be on PC, he be on a little bit of everything, but it's a far and few in between. Even people that people hate. I know a lot of people hate Sumo and shit. He a big ass troll, funny as fuck, ignorant as fuck, but the motherfucker games, yo. He just beat what you call that shit? What's the Souls game over there that Sony refused to remake and remaster? Bloodborne. He beat that. So it's like, I don't got problems with real gamers, no matter your preferred platform. It's these people out here that scream from the rooftop that they're so upset that Indiana Jones is going to PlayStation. People that scream from the rooftop that they're so mad that a single player RPG that lets you go between first and third person, by the way. Everybody want to talk shit about Starfield and fucking and Avowed being 30 FPS, but the fact that you don't have to be in first person to even be annoyed by the 30 FPS. Nobody is talking about that. You can literally switch and be over the shoulder. Nobody had problems with over the shoulder third person 30 FPS games all last gen. In majority of this generation, nobody complained. Ghost of Tsushima 30, nobody complained. Nobody complained. But the moment it's Xbox games being 30 FPS, and then what kills me is they act like, okay, it's just 30 FPS and it's just that's just that. No, this is a UE5 game. Show me how many Unreal Engine 5 games is running optimized on next gen consoles. Please show me anybody. You're not gonna find it. You know, it's outliers, yes. The finals is probably the best running 60 FPS UE5 game on the market. Way better than Concord. So PlayStation guys, if you want a real good shooter, go play the finals. It's free to play UE5, great game. But besides that, UE5 is not a really it's a hard engine to really optimize for. And Digital Foundry said it themselves, you know, even with Wukong. You know,
Yeah.
we're gonna get to that as in the next topic, but
We
it's
can just
not
switch over
easy,
to
yo.
it.
Definitely. Let's get into that. The biggest yo, this Wukong, right? Wukong numbers is what Sony fanboys and Sony themselves make it seem like their first party games do. So Black Myth Wukong has sold over 10 million copies in just 3 days and is killing it on Steam. Absolutely amazing. Majority of those sales is in China, and I see people making that, you know, trying to hold on to that. But to me, that just shows me that gamers all around the world will support games if the game is good. Why wouldn't Wukong sell really well in China? It's based on Chinese mythology. That should
Yep.
be expected. I don't
Journey to the
understand
West.
why Xbox fanboys is using that as an excuse or trying to come back. Like, no, it is what it is. I'm super happy for Wukong. It seems like a pleasant surprise. Now, for me, Panda, I'm not gonna speak for you. I'm gonna just speak for me. When it comes to Xbox, I will get it on sale. I will play it, but I'm sorry, not sorry. It does not look like nothing new. It doesn't look like nothing that I haven't played before. I literally have action games right now similar to that, but even arguably better. I got Devil May Cry 5 that I'm trying to knock out. So it's like, for me personally, all right, it's the biggest game of the year. That's cool. Guess what was the biggest game before this? Power Worlds. I didn't give two shits about Power Worlds. No disrespect to Power Worlds or Wukong. So me personally, I don't get caught up in the hype too much nowadays. I'm definitely more excited for Avowed. I'm more excited for Stalker 2 than I am for Wukong. So hopefully it does get to Xbox soon, because it is a bad look that one of the biggest games of the year is not on Xbox. But before this came out, one of the biggest games of the year wasn't on PlayStation, but you never heard the media talking about it. When Power World was breaking all these records, you never, ever, ever, ever heard anybody say the biggest game of the year is not on PlayStation? Question mark, question mark, question mark. You never heard any of that shit. But the moment that a game is not on the Xbox platform, and I have to say this, Eastern devs and Eastern motherfuckers are going to stick together. I'm not surprised that a Chinese company and Chinese development and even Korean devs like what Stellar Blade is choosing to not put their games on Xbox for whatever reason. I'm not surprised at it. And the way that they release Wukong on Xbox, I mean on PlayStation, all unoptimized and shit, I don't trust them to fucking optimize the shit correctly for the Series S or the X. So it's
Never.
like, yo, take all the
This is
time
their
they need.
first game, right? And they've
Mm-hmm.
never had to optimize for console before. So I think we're gonna see some TV. There's gonna be a lot of patching coming out there, and we can tell
Definitely.
like some of the stuff around, like even Digital Foundry when they did their review around like some of the
Mm-hmm.
surprising things, like they put this frame generation in it at
With
this
bad
level, like
input.
at this,
Yeah.
yeah, and such. It was quite interesting just watching that, and I was like, yeah, I'd be surprised that they did that. But we have Clute here with us. So, Clute, what are your thoughts on Black Myth Wukong? Has sold over 10 million copies in just 3 days, and it's absolutely destroying it on Steam with like over 2 million concurrent players. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
got you loud and clear. That's okay. Yep. Agreed. Congratulations. Yeah. Can't hear him. I don't have him loud and clear. Maybe talk a little bit louder into the.
Yeah, I hear him. Yeah,
Okay,
sorry
you
guys,
can't
we're
hear him.
having a few technical issues
We can hear.
today.
I can hear him, so I'm not sure why you can't hear him. That's
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear him as well.
All right, he'll jump back in anyway. But um, I think it's grand that they have managed to sell over 10 million copies for this. And yes, I think it's also nice to see that a majority of those 10 million sales are from Chinese gamers. And it goes to show that they were looking for a game like this and that art style that resonates with them, that they can go and play regardless of where you are in the world. Where it's just nice that everyone else gets to experience some of that some of the story for Journey from the West, because we know like the whole Dragon Ball, a lot of that story comes from Journey from the West. And um it's just, I am looking forward to it coming to Xbox eventually when it comes to Xbox. I think by the time it comes to Xbox, hopefully the devs have a little bit more experience under their belts when it comes to optimization, because PlayStation and PC aren't quite where it's at. And I feel like maybe it just needs a little bit more time in the oven, specifically with the stability with the frame rates. And even just the FSR doesn't seem to be working as well as it should be, um, with the sharpness and such on the different modes. And there's not a lot of
And
difference between quality, balanced, and performance on PlayStation.
yep.
Around, you would usually see a lot more difference, but we're looking at a not a very, like, it's 30, but it's not entirely stable. You're looking at 60, and it's not stable. And so just needs a bit more time. And it is UE5, and we know that UE engines aren't always the best for delivering 60 FPS steady, like stable 60. But they just
And
need some more time with the engine.
they
Maybe
also
Epic needs
said
to
the
send some people
PS5 was a
over.
bottleneck. I don't know if you've seen that article, but the creative director did in fact say that the PS5 is a bottleneck and it was extremely hard to optimize for, and it's going to take months
Do you reckon
to
that's
get
to
it.
do with the oh my god, why can't I think of it? The shifting. I used to know the name of it off the top of my head, but I can't think of it. Where it shifts between smart shift? Is it smart shift? It shifts between like delivering extra power to the GPU versus extra performance to the CPU, and so it shifts based on
Mm,
that. Do you reckon that could be part of it?
possibly. um I think what it really is trying to force too many options. You know what I'm saying? This might piss people off, but I personally think that Starfield and Avowed is taking the better route. You know, give me a extremely optimized feeling and responsive feeling game at 30 frames per second with the best visuals you can give, and then go ahead and take as much time as you need to bring that 60 FPS mode down the line. Because when you give people three modes and neither one of them is the ideal way to play the game, you know, so you got the 60 FPS performance mode, but it's using frame generation and the input delay is horrible. So you might as well be playing at 30. Then you go to 30 and it's not even a lock 30. You go to balance mode, the frame rate is all over the place, and so is the resolution. And people also don't acknowledge the fact that in performance mode, what did you find to be playing? Internal resolution drops down to 720p. The same shit they do with the Series S. So you got Series S visual settings on the PS5, but nobody wants to talk about that. You'll see a bunch of people pretending like they're just enjoying the game, it's flawless, and that's cool. You know, real gamers should just game and enjoy the games. You know, despite iffy performance, if you really enjoy a game for what that said game is, then just play it and don't worry about too much of the numbers. But PlayStation had to patch in a lot of the features that's needed in these games. You know what I'm saying? The super resolution upscaling, the FSR is always going to be better on Xbox. As
Go go.
far as the VRR is always going to be better on Xbox. And then PlayStation don't has hardware RDNA 2 features like uh, what do you call that? Variable rate shading,
They are
VRS. No,
uh,
VRS.
Various, yeah, variable rate change.
Remember when Dead Space 1 remake launched and the VRS was running perfectly fine on Xbox and giving it a little performance boost? It's the same shit Gears 5 used to get 4K above Ultra PC texture settings at 60 FPS. That is a good feature to use, but Sony don't have a lot of these features by default. So that's why a lot of games run worse on Xbox, because we can't even use what's in our system, because the console leading game market is the PlayStation 5, which doesn't have all these features, you know?
If we're looking at just comparing the hardware around like the why can't I think of what I want to say? But like the difference between the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox around the hardware and how like compute units. That's right. I'm thinking of compute units. Xbox has more hardware compute units than PlayStation 5, right? So that it can, with UE5, it can deliver more computing power to deliver a better experience or performance or visual display, depending on what they're trying to do with it. So I think FSR performs better on the Xbox in general, like if we're looking at UE5, because UE5 performs better in general on Xbox in comparison to PlayStation 5, and that's just the computing power difference between the two. And I think, I hope I'm saying this right, Goggle Po, you are making some really great points in the chat around like UE5 does tend to perform better on Xbox than PlayStation, and this is a UE5 title, and there is a difference around what these two systems can do and deliver. Can we hear Clute? Clute, do you want to see if we can hear you? Let us know in the chat. You're back?
Yes, sir.
I can hear you, but I don't know
chat,
about.
Can y'all hear Clute? Let us know. I agree.
The S is good.
Well, they still say they can't hear him for some reason. I'm not sure what's going on with that.
We can hear him.
Yeah, we can hear him. That's absolutely crazy.
Could you hear him earlier in the show, right at the very beginning?
Hmm.
All right, I'll unmute
you. Fuck you, Farky. Hey, Panda, give me 1 second. I'll be right back.
Affecting broadcast. Okay. Trying to figure this out. Not sure why you can't hear him. You could hear him at the beginning, but you can't hear him now. The beginning was fine. Okay. How about now? Just keep talking for a little bit. Just louder into your mic, maybe, just slightly, and see if that makes a difference. Can you hear him? We can hear you. That's the thing. Like Nero and I can hear you, but I don't know if the chat can hear you. Nope, nothing. Ah, okay. Have you cycled off the headset? Cycled it back on? No. Not sure. It's definitely they're blaming Nero. Okay,
Yeah,
I
everyone is
want to
blaming
blame
me.
Nero too.
Fuck you guys. While y'all blaming me, make sure y'all hit that like button.
He's not muted on our end. Like we don't have him muted. No. Yeah, his volume is all available. Okay. Output somewhere. Nope. Try. Yeah, I was just gonna say try.
Okay, do we gotta add him back to the scene? Because every time he connect, it say add to scene. Like it just said he connected, and then it said add to scene.
Okay, let's go. Replace. Which one is he? Try now.
Yo, can you guys hear me?
Can we hear him?
What up, everybody?
Deal with that before.
Let's see. Can y'all hear him now?
Yo, what's up? What is up, 4Q? Thank you, man. Yo, I'm back.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
Absolutely.
they can hear him. I feel like the chat is trolling me. Like, all right,
Yeah.
they can hear you. See,
You'll
so
just need
that's
to
what
put
it
your
was.
icon up. I
Yeah,
don't know
you just
why.
gotta
We've
put
never
your
had
icon.
that problem
Yeah,
before. Never
yeah.
once.
But see,
Okay.
I figured it was see,
Evie must
everybody
have done
thank me.
something.
Hey,
Evie must
nah,
have
nah,
done
nah, nah.
something.
Everybody
Yeah.
thank Nero. Everybody
Yeah.
thank me. I said,
For
yo, we gotta
once,
add him back to
for
the
once,
scene.
Nero was right. For
Hmm.
once, Nero was
For
right.
once. I
Yeah.
told everybody,
Give
I'm
him
the
his
technical
flowers in
guy
the
over here.
chat. Give him his flowers.
Yes, please. Thank you, Nero. Thank you. Oh, you guys, welcome. No problem. No problem. No problem. Like, you know
Hey,
what I'm saying?
Pony Bots,
Well,
they're gonna blame the Series S for this.
Yeah, the Series S is hey, that goddamn Series S.
yeah, basically.
Absolutely. Now let's pick it up. Where were we?
We were
We was
destroying
talking.
We
everyone's
were
soul.
talking about Wukong. Like my
Yep.
biggest issue with Wukong right now, VRR can fix a lot, but it can fix everything. The threshold for the PS5 is maximum at 48 frames per second. Like this game in performance mode, it dips below 48. That's the problem of Wukong on a PlayStation 5 right now. If
Yep.
Wukong launched on the Xbox and it dropped until the threshold of 42 frames per second, that would have been an issue. Wukong, I'm convinced of the fact Wukong, if it launched today in the state it is in today on Xbox, it would have performed way better than on PlayStation 5. And I'm saying this as someone I really like the game, but these
I
performance
agree.
issues are taking away a lot of the fun, especially the intense boss fights. Like Nero, maybe you can attest to this. If PlayStation's refund system wasn't as dog shit, I would have refunded this. If I bought this game on Xbox, I would have refunded this and wait till they fix the game. Because in my opinion, it
Yep.
hurts a lot of the fun.
Yeah, and this is coming from somebody that had Redfall day one for free in Game Pass, and I refused to
Absolutely.
play it. Like I had homies that was playing Redfall, but I refused to play it because that 30 FPS kind of made me feel motion sick. It just wasn't a good 30 FPS. It goes back to when I said all 30 isn't the same, right? And I gladly set that out. So if I can set out a game that I got for technically free, you damn right. I'm with you, Clue. If I was on PlayStation and I bought this game, I would fight like hell, use them PlayStation stars or whatever the case might be, and I would try to get a refund. Um, I just find it funny how that they pulled the same shit that Cyberpunk pulled, but didn't get even half the back. Now, granted, to be fair, right? Cyberpunk was in way worse shape than Wukong is right now. But to be fair, it's still very fucked up performance nonetheless. And arguably, I mean, not arguably, but definitively, Cyberpunk is the better game. It's the bigger game. It has the better story. It has just as good combat, in my opinion. And it's a great game. But it got ridiculed for how it launched on consoles. But here we are over here having a game launch with a performance mode at 720, 620p Switch numbers on the big bad wolf that is the PlayStation 5, and nobody's talking about it. I feel like that's bullshit. You know,
Well,
Cyberpunk got pulled through the ringer for doing the exact same shit. They gave PC codes for the reviews and said fuck console players, and then when it launched, it was fucked up on consoles. Wukong literally did the same shit. They gave PC codes, they said fuck PlayStation, then they launched on PlayStation in a horrible state, and here we are.
I mean, it's done well for the console sales over in China for them for the PlayStation 5 that is selling out. So kudos to a IP that is a console seller because we're not seeing a lot of
Definitely.
that, and I think it's really important. But congratulations to the devs for the success
What
of
I
their
was
game.
mentioning,
Yeah.
what I was mentioning earlier, I'm really glad this game succeeded in China. Like China
Yep.
is known for making heavy monetized mobile games, PC games, Flash RPGs, these kind of games. Like this is really the first AAA console and PC game from China. So this game had to succeed for other companies to follow in their footsteps. So I'm glad for the company this game succeeded. But yeah, they gotta fix those performance issues.
Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. 100%. So we'll see more patches. Hopefully, that means the version that Xbox gets will be a hell of a lot better out the gate. Yeah. All right. Well, let's talk about, I guess, the big thing that's kind of happened this week. You know, just a small little thing over in Europe. Gamescom 2024. We had the opening night live show, and I'm just going to switch over to that because we're going to be talking about the show, so give me a second. Likes me. Good. What happened to the... Give me 1 second. I thought I replaced this. I replaced all of this before, but I was having issues.
See, guys, I told you it's never me. Always
No.
Panda fault. Hashtag blame Panda.
Well, I had it all set up. I was testing it before the show, so this is why I'm finding it weird. That it was meant to be doing my screen share. Is it doing
Such
my
a
screen
great time
share?
to be a gamer. Just randomly want to throw that out there while we get this together. All right, guys, I fixed it. Almost. Yeah, gaming is in such a wonderful state. Shout out the Sonic games is on sale, everyone. God tier game, God tier character. You know, if you want to go to the Microsoft store and support a legendary character before he get bought by Microsoft. You feel me? Look, I don't want everybody dick riding a Sonic after he get bought. How about that? When we buy Sega, I don't want to see everybody. Oh, I love Sonic. Sonic is such an amazing blue furball. I love no. Lyric and Reese
1 second while I fix this in the background.
and
'Cause
everybody
it's being
else.
silly. I'll go back to the 3-panel option. It is being silly. I don't know what's happening today with this.
Oh, fuck
I
you,
really
Reese.
don't.
The Sega deal should happen no matter what. Sonic is gonna be ours soon.
Exactly. And when Sonic is ours, I don't want to hear all that. Oh, I love Sonic, and I've always been a supporter of Sonic. Sonic is better than Ratchet and Clank. Like, the way better character. It's not even close. Like, Sonic has so much aura, right? Like, you just look at Sonic and you say, yo, he's so dope, man. He's so amazing. He's such a legendary guy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, it's working. It is working. All right. Well, we can get into some topics for this. So give me a second. But what was everyone's highlights from Gamescom?
Clue, you want to go first?
Yeah,
Yeah,
for
well,
me
I'm trying to
personally, it
talk.
was definitely Mafia 4. I don't know the subtitle. What was it? The Old House, The Old Hunters. I don't know the subtitle. Mafia, The Old, whatever that. For me personally, Mafia, people are gonna hate me for it, but for me personally, Mafia over Grand Theft Auto. Any day, any day. Last year, I was replaying all Mafia games, 1, 2, and 3, back to back. I really like the groundedness of Mafia, the grittiness of it. Like
Definitely.
GTA is a bit cynical, it's a bit comical. I really like the groundedness of Mafia. So having this announcement right now, it's really excited for me. Like before, if you ask me before Gamescom, what do you want for Mafia 4? I'd say let's go for the 90s, early 2000s, the
Yep.
Sopranos era. Which I have no issues with them going back to the 10s, to the 20s. I want to see how it was with the Don Salieri family back in
Yeah.
Sicilia. I'm definitely looking forward to that.
I definitely agree. Mafia was definitely one of the highlights for me. I've been extremely excited for a new Mafia game for a very long time. I also like the Mafia series just a little more than GTA as well. GTA 5 is definitely one of my least favorite GTAs of all of them. I think GTA 4 was better. I think San Andreas, Vice City, and 3 was all better games. And I also played through the Mafia trilogy. I think it was either last year or the year before. Absolutely amazing. I love how they all tie in with each other. I love all the Easter eggs and stuff like that. I will say 2 is probably my favorite just because the setting, the Christmas, coming home, getting discharged from the army and all that stuff like that. That atmosphere is
Agreed.
top tier. I love the first
2 is
game
the
as well,
best.
and I think the third game is pretty underrated. I know a lot of people didn't like the third game, but I thought it was dope. Going from the first game to the second game to the third game, I think it was improvements in certain aspects and some step backs in others. But You have to change things up. When you get to that third game, you can't have it be a 1-for-1 with the first game. You know what I'm saying? You have to see where you can improve things, right? So I agree with Clute. Mafia was definitely one of the highlights. I'm really interested to see. Now, what stole the show for me was Avowed. Every time I see Avowed, that game looks better and better and better and better. It just absolutely looks amazing. I'm still trying to figure out how I'm gonna do my first playthrough. I don't know if I want to be an evil guy off rip. I don't know if I want to run around with a pistol and a wand. I just don't know. They got Garrus, voice actor from Mass Effect, in there. So you got a fantasy Garrus running around with you. I feel
That's
like that's
dope.
absolutely dope. Gonna be amazing. The Starfield DLC was a highlight for me as well. Getting some of that background, going back to their roots. As much as I love uh, Starfield and Bethesda, they're still my game of the generation. I'm all excited for if every time they do a story expansion that it's just one handcrafted area, whether that be a space station that they handcraft and make extremely detailed, or like they're doing with the Shattered Space. You have a planet that's handcrafted. You done proved to us that you can do 1,000 planets. So for the DLCs and the features and stuff like that, I wouldn't mind just one set planet, one set area, new cities here and there, and I think that'd be super dope. Another highlight for me was Dying Light: The Beast. I thought that was going to be some DLC to Dying Light 2, but it appears to be a completely different spinoff. So I absolutely love that as well. I'm also with Panda. I know she's going to touch on this when we get to her, but Borderlands 4. I love Borderlands, the entire series. I absolutely love every game. 3 is by far my least favorite because going from somebody like Handsome Jack to going to the twins, it was such a stark drop off to where it was really noticeable. In games like Borderlands and Far Cry, I feel like the games live and die on how bad the main anti-protagonist is. You know what I'm saying? If you got a good villain in those games that make you want to keep playing for hours and hours just to see how you can, defeat them and come out on top, that'd be dope. Shout out to Grizzly because
Absolutely.
with a gun also looked at dope. I look forward to that as well. And Indiana Jones. I'm excited for Indiana Jones, but I will say Indiana Jones is the least excitement for a first party game that was shown. I'm more excited for Starfield. I know Stalker 2 isn't technically first party, but I'm more excited for that. I'm more excited for Black Ops 6 campaign, and I'm more excited for the Starfield DLC. And another highlight, guys, was the Starfield stealth drop of the vehicles. And also, Starfield now runs at 60 plus frames per second on the Series S. We was told that that could not be done. We was told it was impossible. We was told vehicles would never come. Some of you gamers is so fucking spoiled. I can't stand you guys. Everybody, the vehicle should have been here. This should have been here. Well, I'm sorry, not sorry, but you can look around at any great game of the recent years and say that something should have been there. Spider-Man 2 of last year did not have a new game plus. That had to come this year. So it didn't even make it to the same year. You can say that about a plethora of games. Dying Light 2, as much as I love that, granted, Techland is a smaller studio. They didn't have a performance mode day one. They didn't have the mode. So it's a lot of games out here that's not launching with everything. But when you have a game as big as Starfield day one, you damn right you can add shit down the line like vehicles. And these is free updates, free performance updates and unlocks, free accessibility updates. Then you got the modding community going absolutely crazy. And the Rev 8 is just awesome. It feels good. It actually feels better than the Mako from Mass Effect trilogy. So
Hey,
that's
bro, Dragon's Dogma 2 launched at 30 FPS.
yep.
Ain't nobody gave a shit about that. Ain't nobody docking it points for
Yep.
being 30 FPS only.
And me, Panda, and Rhetri, we praise Dragon's Dogma 2 for literally the first half of our podcast. We're 22 episodes in, Panda, 22, 23, and we spent at least the first 10 episodes highlighting how good Dragon's Dogma 2 was.
Video
So
game. Absolutely.
definitely fantastic. So that's pretty much all my games. Like I said, I'm definitely excited for Borderlands 4. I'm excited to see where that goes. Now, the funny thing is, I don't own Borderlands 3 for some reason on Xbox. I'm pretty sure I bought it on PlayStation because I played a majority of it over there. So I probably will try to grab that on sale eventually. I own every other one. I downloaded the prequel recently. I miss Handsome Jack. I can play that,
Yes.
and I hope they go back to their roots, man.
Like, guys, do you agree with that Borderlands 2 might have the best DLC in gaming history? Like we're going Sir Hammerlock's big game hunt, Captain Scarlet and her pirate's booty, Tiny Tina's adventure on Dragon
Yeah,
Keep. It might be
yeah.
the best DLC in gaming history, period. Fantastic franchise.
Well,
Fantastic
I'm
game.
gonna go out on a limb and say Tiny Tina Wonderlands, the spinoff game, the standalone. I'm gonna go off and say that was better than Borderlands 3 for me personally.
Oh, I
Facts.
know some
Facts.
people who are so in disagreement with you on that one.
I agree
So
with that.
would probably kill you if they saw you in person for saying that. No, I'm
Yeah,
kidding.
I know.
Sorry,
People want to
technical
kill me for my shitty
difficulties.
takes all day.
I had this set up before the show. I was testing it before the show. It was working, and then for some reason, Evie Mux decided to go, "Oh, all the settings that you saved? Nah, we get rid of them." So rather disappointed, but hopefully that is now all working for everybody. All right. Sorry, continuing on. Sorry to interrupt, but yeah. Did everybody enjoy Gamescom? Oh, I say technical difficulties.
I definitely did. I definitely did. You know, all the updates and I'm so mad because I was supposed to be adding even more to the topic sections of the notes, like because there's so many other games that stood out. Shout out to my homie Be More Gamer. If he watched this, happy belated birthday. I'm pretty late, but he even highlighted a game called Redacted. It kind of looks like it's made by the same people that made Callisto Protocol and the same crafting. They just bought Tango Games Works, and this is a cell shaded Hades type of game, and it absolutely looked amazing. So that's definitely one of the highlights for me as well. It just Microsoft absolutely killed it. You know, even people saying that they seen even John Linneman from Digital Foundry said that Stalker 2 was running at 60 FPS on the Series X. So
That's UE
just
5.
the amount of good news, Joe, the amount of good news and good gaming. You know, even what Indiana Jones getting a date for November. I mean December, right? I think
Yeah.
that's December 8th. You know, my birthday month. I think that's very dope as well. And I'm not mad that I know a lot of people is mad about it getting announced to PlayStation, but it is what it is. The more time go by, the more I'm happy about them putting certain games on PlayStation, and I want them to continue to do it. Um, when you're third place as the market leader, you're not outselling Nintendo or PlayStation as far as consoles. Then what's the next best thing to do? If you can't outsell them in consoles, you can definitely outsell them in games by putting your games everywhere. Xbox has some of the best games on the market, always has, even from the 360 and original Xbox era. It's just the media is so biased. Look at this cringe son of a bitch on screen right now. I'm sorry. That's for you, Rhetri. I know Rhetri hate this son of a bitch just as much as me. It literally, his soul left his body every time he had to announce something positive about Xbox. You know what I'm
Oh, he
saying?
looks like
Every single time,
he
man.
looks like a
Such a
villain
biased
from
cuck,
Devil May
yo.
Cry 5. He looks like a villain from the Devil May Cry
He
universe.
really do. He really do look like a DMC5 villain, yo. And I just think it's funny how Xbox absolutely killed Gamescom, right? Had the biggest booth ever, was so hands-on with the community. So they killed it at Gamescom, but let's not forget that 10-star, 5-star, amazing, spectacular gaming summer showcase that they had.
Yeah.
So when you include the showcase, that was such a great showcase. Then you got Gamescom, that was amazing. Then they're gonna have some announcements or some new trailers at the Game Awards this year. It's just like, yo, Xbox is absolutely killing it. So I find it funny how everybody want to gloom and doom the news at Gamescom about a game going over there, this, that, and the third. But nobody glooms and doom PlayStation not showing up to Gamescom for what, the second, third year in a row.
Yeah.
They literally have nothing. They literally have nothing at all. Nothing to look forward to. No roadmap. No confirmation about the PS6. At least Sarah Bonds and Phil Spencer
I mean, they
confirmed
have
we
a
have a next
roadmap.
gen Xbox.
Xbox's roadmap, right?
I mean, and that's fine, right? And if people get upset about that, because to me that's the dumbest shit ever. Oh, I don't need an Xbox. I'll just go to PlayStation and get the best of both worlds. Well, go sell your Xbox and go pay full price for our games months after the fact. Even if games go day and date to PlayStation, to me that's fine because the biggest exclusive for me at the moment is Game Pass. You know, if Sony was to start putting all their first party games in PS Plus, I would be excited to go get a PS5 tomorrow and subscribe to their service the same way I subscribe to Game Pass. And eventually they're gonna have to compete like that. But as of now, to all you gloom and doom sons of bitches, yo, get out of here. Bye. You know, we don't need you anymore, man. And you know, like I said, I even seen some Xbox homies bumping heads on the timeline. You know, I seen people go on that demo flow gaming and stuff like that. Like, to me, that's just the biggest cornball shit ever. You know, it's like every day you guys want to wake up and find some fake ass gloom and doom rumors and news to be mad about, to be upset about. You know, you got Jazz Gordon and Clabril, all these big Xbox guys, Colt Eastwood, they fall for the same bullshit every single fucking time. They put out all this sad shit. You know what I'm saying? But my question to them guys is, how many games did you beat this year? All of them. For everybody that's mad, show me the time you put into Machine games. Show me that you beat Doom Eternal. If you mad about Doom going to PlayStation, show me that you beat Doom Eternal, and show me that you beat Doom Eternal, the Ancient God Part 1 and Part 2. Because till this day, that is the proudest achievement that I popped in recent memory, beating those 2 DLCs, man. It was absolutely brutal. And I'm extremely proud to beat those games. So people who actually play and beat these games don't have a problem with them leaving. It's only the people that just need, you know, talking points and need to look like they're cool, and they just want Xbox to, like, do you want them to be like Sony or be better than Sony? And personally, I want them to be better than Sony in every way, in every aspect. Well, Phil Spencer has been pro play where you want for the last 3-4 years.
Yeah.
Why would he change that stance?
I mean, I have like so many things to say on that, and I'm going to talk about it later. But like, I really enjoyed Gamescom this year, and I'm kind of sad that I wasn't over there because the amount of the lucky sons of bitches, they're so lucky, who got to try out so many of those games at the booths. Like, people got to play Avowed, people got to play Stalker 2, Towerborn. It's just insane that they got to go experience that. And if anyone knows Jen from Windows Central, Genbox 360, she got a Diablo tattoo while she was over there. Like, it's looked like a great time to go and be a gamer and just enjoy what we love doing. No console wars, no nothing like that. Just go and experience the games, get some hands on with them, and then decide what games you want to play in the next 12 to 18 months. Definitely. And I think that's really, really good.
And Panda, can we highlight that Xbox is literally one of the only of the major three really keeping the spirit alive, right? This hands-on Gamescom experience, come to our booths, play our games, you know, get updates, talk to the devs, talk to, you know, bump shoulders with some of the execs and stuff like that. You don't see that from Sony, and you don't really see it from Nintendo as well. Like, yes, Nintendo's have they directs, but they not hands-on with the community. Xbox and the Xbox execs make you feel like they give a damn about you. You can bump into Phil Spencer, you can bump into Sarah Bonds, Aaron Greenberg, and you can have these conversations. So
I think they have a lot of work to do in Europe, so I think it's really good that they showed up the way they did, and that big, and that and such. Like, the amount of things that they need to do to kind of go, we're here and we don't care where you play as long as you're part of our ecosystem. And that's the biggest, I guess, push, biggest thing that they're going to say. But like Black Ops 6, what we saw of that looked fantastic, with the Omni movement. I was so hyped to see Borderlands 4 show back up. The Starfield DLC with the Rev 8 buggy, that was fantastic. And like, we now have a release date for the DLC for Shattered Space, which is the 30th of September. And I'm like, I don't have time to play any of these games. Like, I have no time to play this. Like, Space Marine, like that game, it just keeps, every time I see it, I'm like, why can't I play it right now? I was really excited, like, because we saw, like, we had opening night live show, we had Xbox had their 3 days of what they were doing with their stream for Xbox at Gamescom, where they kind of did deep dives with the devs with some expanded gameplay, and then they had the booth behind them. But like, I um, I loved the first game, Lost in Random, which actually released
Yeah.
on PC and PlayStation initially first, and then had a later release on Xbox, and eventually I
It's
can't
in
remember the
Game
launch
Pass, by the
date.
way, guys.
Yeah, yeah, into Game Pass. But the sequel, which is Lost in Random, The Eternal Die, is launching day one into Game Pass as
Hmm.
well, and it's coming to Xbox. So there's no delay there. So they must have seen a lot of success off that. And if you like the IP or you want to check it out, I do recommend. It's not a very
It's a
long
great game.
game,
I'm about
and
40% through.
it's a
It's a
neat
really good game.
game. And I think it just reminds me a lot of, like, I guess the art style runs through a bit of Tim Burton esque-ness to it, with that beautiful, like, feels like it's a bit of stop motion animation, but it's not quite there. But it's got a lot of love in it. I was really excited when we got to see more on Atomfall. If anyone actually
Yes,
checked out
yes.
Atomfall during Gamescom, that's from the developers who do Sniper Elite. And so it's a survival type game, and you're not going to have a lot of ammo and such, and it's going to be a lot more in your face type combat. But the more I see of this game, the more excited I am to play it. And I'm pretty sure that one's coming into Game Pass as well, from memory. And we got a new Sniper Elite Resistance, so that's
Yes.
coming into Game Pass. And I know that was one of our things, but like, there were so many games watching this, and I was so excited. Did anyone see Squirrel with a gun?
Yes. Grizzly in the chat mentioned that earlier, and I'm super excited for that as well, yo.
Like,
That
the
that
fact you have a squirrel like flying on a oh my god, why can't I think of words today? But what do they call drone? A little drone, and like cutting people's hair with the blades of the drone. The fact that you can do parkour by using like the gun's like recoil to jump you
Mhm.
further and like do different things, and like, it just felt like a silly little game that you're gonna have a lot of fun with, like how Goat Simulator is a silly little game that you just have lots of fun with. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and that's what we want to do as gamers, is enjoy what we're doing and have fun. And like Goat Simulator, the funny, like, making fun of itself with like what you assumed were glitches in the game, and then we find out we're getting a remastered of the original Goat Simulator. Um, there were just too many games.
That was, can we give flowers to that trailer for Goat Simulator? Like when they had the Skyrim guy walk by 3 times. Hey, like,
Yeah,
yo, that was so
Fantastic,
funny.
fantastic trailer.
The GTA's, the Sony, the little shade they threw at Sony making remasters. I was like, yo, what is this? And granted, I was a little let down when it was Goat Simulator, only because the trailer was so well. I thought it was gonna be a remake or remaster of one of the games they was hitting and trolling, and then when it turned out to be that, I was like, okay, Goat Simulator, cool.
yeah,
But that trailer alone was so good. I definitely would be playing in the Game Pass. Adam Fall definitely is flying under the radar for a lot of people. I think that's going to be a great game for sure, for sure.
yeah,
So yeah, a lot of great games
100%.
shown, man. Even
Um,
stuff like Towerborn and 33 Immortal, a lot of really good games. And even with the Xbox people that was complaining and bitching about Towerborn, going to Steam access first and then coming to consoles. My question is, are you guys not insiders? So you get on Twitter and bitch and tweet 1,000 times a day, but you can't open your Xbox app and become an insider and request to be in there. I know I got homies right now that has been playing Towerborn on console, on Xbox, just from going through the insider program. The same way you can go through the insider program right now and sign up to play Fragpunk. It's not a
and
hard process at all. It's
I think
simple
the first
research.
Berserker is also going to be
Yep.
going through, like, if you want to play it on Xbox through like a beta, it'll be on the Insider program.
And that game looks great
Batman
too.
Batman
It looks so good.
VR. I was not expecting Batman VR. I'm not a VR fan, but I
Me
low
either.
key was like, yes, please. Clint, are you a VR fan? Are you excited for Batman VR? What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I owned the PlayStation VR back in the day. I tried the Batman demo that came with it, Batman Arkham VR. I think it was phenomenal. But like, yeah, you finish it in 1 or 2 hours. Back then, I wish they made a full game out of it. Now we're getting it 8 years later, but whatever.
But
Still,
is it
still pretty
coming
excited
to
for it.
VR? Like
Nah,
PlayStation VR? It's Metacrist
it's
3,
Meta,
right?
yes, it's Metacast 3. I don't own it right now. Maybe I'll get into it. It's really exciting to see finally some AAA content releasing for VR.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, we're talking about the Goat Simulator and it's sitting up there as a trailer right now. I
Phenomenal
was
trailer. That's how
super
you do a trailer.
surprised. Like, I feel like any IP that is gonna deliver VR would be Batman. Like, it's just you gotta have Batman VR, right? It'd be probably like I say I will get into VR when they put Pokemon in VR one day. But yeah, I was super excited and it looked really good. I was like, yes, if I had a VR headset, I would definitely be picking up this game. And it just kind of feels sad that it doesn't look like PlayStation is getting this. And if it is, it's going to be later. Yeah. But don't sleep on it. If you're a VR fan, if you didn't check it out, please check it out. The Unknown 9 Awakening, which is actually launching 18th of October, and it's got the actress who played Yennefer in the live action Witcher series. That game looks really, really, really good. Every time I see more of it, I want to play it more. So I'm really excited and keen for that title. And I think I put a post out with the trailer out before the show went live as well, because I'm excited and I just want just more games that just look interesting and have different. I don't know. It just didn't look like every other generic game coming out. Diablo 4, the Vessel of Hatred
Diablo is killing it,
DLC.
man. They. I gotta chime in. They
Jump
are
in.
absolutely killing it. As soon as I get some extra funds, that's the first thing I'm gonna do. I'm gonna pre-order, or just buy it day one if I can get in there. That expansion looks amazing. The story looks amazing. The new character looks
Absolutely.
amazing. The new region looks amazing. Um,
Yeah, the deep dive
they're
that they
killing
did
it.
for Xbox's show was fantastic. Like the on the panel where they showed more and talked more about it. Yeah, I am definitely keen for this. Like I was keen. I was like, I want to play it already. Can we just skip this new season and start the new one?
Yep. So many
I'm really
games I wanted
excited
to
to see the
play
new
off
character.
rip. Also, to
Facts.
highlight what Reese said, 33 Immortals is available right now in the Insider program. So I'm going to sign up for that tonight before I go to bed. Like I said, I will be out of town for the first half of next week, so I probably won't be able to do as much gaming as I want. She told me to bring my Xbox, but I don't trust. I don't know about you guys. I don't trust unplugging my Xbox, like unplugging the HDMI. Like even when I move my TV and stuff from my bedroom to the living room, if I don't, just to change the scenery and shit, I never unplug my HDMIs. Like I will find out a
Really?
way. Yeah, I don't. The HDMI
I
ports
unplug
on the
everything.
PS5 and see that's the thing. Like it's a well known fact that the HDMI ports on the PS5 and the Series X is by far the cheapest things on those consoles.
It's
They are
true.
known to burn out. They are known to. I just don't want to risk it. I just don't want to risk it. I don't want to risk it at
Yeah.
all.
Well, I'm on my third Series X, and that's because the first one just died randomly. The second one I had a GPU issue, and the third one perfectly fine. I've had this one for quite a few years, no issue.
Oh wow.
See, I'm on my first and only, yo. But I will
My
say,
sister's still on her first. I'm like, what is this? Why do I have to get
hey,
three?
right. Panda get hangry, guys, and she started throwing her consoles around, and
Oh, I
then she come on
did
here
not
and
mean
pretend
to.
like
Why is
you
that
know.
activated? It shouldn't be on. I'm not hangry. Hide the feed the panda. I'm not hangry yet. Give me another half
Not
an
yet.
hour. um, Star Wars Outlaws. Every time I see this, I am super keen to play it. I'm actually thinking of maybe subbing to Ubisoft Plus just to play this game because
Definitely.
I'm like, what do I spend my money on? Because like it comes out right around the time that Space Marines comes out,
Mm.
and that game looks fire, and I'm like, I really have to be smart around how I'm spending my money around that. But I think one of my biggest things was just the jealousy I felt for the people who got to play Avowed.
Definitely.
So
Same.
jealous of the people who got to play Valve.
That game looks so good, yo. And give me 30 frames per second. When you're giving me native 4K with ray trace, global illumination, and reflections, and all those bells and whistles, please, I'll take 30 FPS on a platter. You won't hear
Yeah.
me complaining.
Yeah. 100%. 100%. So
Absolutely.
excited.
Tell me how many Sony first party games got any type of global illumination. They don't even got to be RTGI. Just what Sony game has global illumination? You won't find it. None of their games have global illumination. They brag about the reflections in Spider-Man 2, but they got baked in lighting. They had to patch in a day and night cycle. You know what I'm saying? Horizon, for as good as that look and as good as people, that's why I say Avatar Frontier is better graphically and a better game overall, in my opinion, than Horizon Forgettable West, because it has native 4K, it has ray tracing, global illumination, and ray trace reflections in both modes, the quality mode and the performance mode. You lose no. The only thing you do is you get a slightly reduced draw distance, and you get a knockdown in the resolution. So you don't see true next gen features in these PlayStation first party games. So when people talk shit about Starfield being what it was, hey, Starfield got global illumination, native 4K. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yes.
can make your fun and your jokes all you want. Avowed has 4K, native 4K. You know, you have the global illumination. You has these the lumen, the nanite. You have these features and stuff like that, right? Same shit with Hellblade, ray trace GI, reflections, nanite. You know, those rocks are so detailed on there. I got a thing for detailed rocks in games. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Halo Infinite. But you don't see those type of graphical features and stuff in these first party Sony games. You know, I think Forgettable West would be awesome to have some type of global illumination, but it has baked in lighting. So for me, those games that PlayStation is putting out is not that impressive because to me, the biggest thing, we had 4K last gen. We had games run at 4K 60 last gen. We had games at native 4K, especially on Xbox One X. So 4K and 60 FPS is not next gen to me. What are you doing in the lighting department? How realistic can you make this game? How can you make when I enter a dark room and the only light source is from a lighter or a flashlight and the entire room is illuminated and stuff like that? To me, that is next gen. To me, that is what I want. And
Yeah.
right now, Xbox is literally the only console and publisher supplying that shit right now.
Absolutely.
Well, we do. Yeah, go, Clue. Sorry.
Talking about Xbox first party right now is carrying Unreal Engine 5 on its back. We got
Yep.
Avowed, we got Hellblade 2. The best studio in the world right now with Unreal Engine 5 is the Coalition. Gears of War E-Day is gonna set a new benchmark for visuals on consoles. Ain't nobody gonna deny that. Even Perfect Dark. Do you know how crisp Perfect Dark looked in its lightning, in its everything? That's what I'm saying. Absolutely. I don't think any PlayStation Sony first party can match what Xbox is doing right now. Even when you look at Horizon Forbidden Awards, the game is cross-gen. God of War Ragnarok, it's cross-gen. Spider-Man 2, I don't see a reason why Spider-Man 2 isn't on PS4 right now. I don't see the issue. I don't see why.
Yeah. It should be.
It could definitely run over there for sure.
Yeah.
They're not doing anything groundbreaking in their games, man. And this is not to say that Sony don't put out good looking games. I personally think Last of Us remastered or remake, I'm excited to get a PS5 to play those very same remakes and remasters that they've been giving them over there. I'm sorry that y'all gotta wait whole generations to play remakes and remasters at full price. But for people like me
Yeah.
that come late, I'm gonna eat good. I'm gonna feast good. I'm gonna pick up all these games and remakes and remasters for a good price, and I'm gonna have a blast. But I thought that was a missed opportunity with Last of Us remake to not include GI because it's fairly linear. You understand what I'm saying? It's not like Last of Us Part 2 where you have a bunch of open zones and open world sections. I get that would be more taxing, but even for the linear games, it's like, where is the light? To me, like I said, I need better lighting in these games. I'm tired of stagnant, baked in lighting. When you play games like Dragon's Dogma, Starfield,
Dragon's Dogma, when you
Exodus,
don't have ray tracing on. Oh,
yep,
no. Nope.
It's a no-go. Once you really fully understand what global illumination is, whether it's ray traced or just hardware or software GI, you really understand, like, yo, that is huge. That is more important than 60 frames per second if we're talking about just a single player game. Now, if we're talking about a first person shooter, and people, like I said earlier, you have to realize nobody complains about 30 FPS when it's an over the shoulder walking dad babysitting simulator and shit like that, right? So Avowed is not forcing you to only be first person. Starfield is not only forcing you to be first person. And yes, people was upset. You know, even my homie, shout out to homie Gritty, man. I don't know if he's watching, but he felt like it was a smack in the face for Avowed and those devs to say that it was a creative decision to be at 30. I think that is a creative vision. If you want your game to be vibrant, if you want your game to have amazing lighting in a dark fantasy world, like Avowed, like a next Elder Scrolls and shit like that, you want to have God tier lighting. So that is a creative decision when you choose to say, yo, let's focus on 30 frames, the best resolution we can get, and let's have some killer lighting to the point where when you walk into this cave, you see that light source from that torch over there, and the entire cave is lit up in a beautiful orange light. To me, that is important, yo. That is
An
crucial.
engine is designed to be scalable, right? And once they work out 30 and they go, this is what we can do performance-wise on 30 to get the best looking visuals out of what we want to deliver, then it's just working it back and going, how can we reduce some of this to deliver a stable 60 FPS? They shifted from UE4 to UE5 throughout this development, and so we are seeing that they will have to spend more time to be able to deliver a 60 FPS option. But I think they really want to make sure that they deliver a good 30 experience. And some studios can deliver great 30. Other studios, 30 is choppy AF and it's horrible. And I think as long as there's maybe an option in future for like a 40 with VRR on, then you're gonna be fine for the interim. Like I think of A Plague Tale's Requiem, which I played. I enabled my 120 FPS option and left my game running at 40 FPS. It was a nicer experience than 30, and I think we could maybe hope they deliver a version like that, at least for the people who do want to get closer to 60 and just have a slightly smoother experience over those who don't like 30. I don't like 30. I really don't. I get motion sick because I'm so used to playing 120 FPS and going down to 60 is about that. And when I hit to 30, it's quite jarring for me and very hard for me to experience 30. And these consoles are definitely capable of 60 based on what's sitting in them in the hardware. It's just making sure that the developers take that into account and make sure that they have enough time to do that. And I feel like maybe they don't have enough time to deliver it because they switched engines, and so it's getting a bit more time to further optimize and improve and get rid of any bugs to deliver what we're going to get in February. And I think we're going to get a 60 FPS later. 60 FPS patch. Oh, I can't even sentence. 60 FPS patch later on, and then it doesn't matter. I know that people are like it should be launching with 60 FPS, and Xbox has got a history at the moment of delivering 30 FPS and patching in 60 later. But at least we're still getting 60. If they capped it at 30 and we never got a 60 FPS patch, I think that would piss off the community even more. And not everyone is going to pick up the game day one. Some of us are going to load it up, have a look at it, turn it off and go, we'll wait for the 60. And that's just the reality of the situation. Some of us are hooked on other games. 30 is not a deal breaker for everyone. And that's the thing. It's like, it might be a deal breaker for you, but you're a minority in this regard. There are plenty of people who don't care that it's 30. It's in Game Pass day one. They get to experience a beautiful looking game done by Obsidian, which has the humor. Obsidian make great games. And the next game we're getting from them is going to be the Outer Worlds 2. And that's going to be a great game. And you know that they will have learnt from this game around optimizing under UE5 and how better to deliver a 60 FPS experience. Because a lot of it is just learning the nuances of an engine to understand the optimization that needs to go into to deliver a 60 FPS title without compromising on the core gameplay that you want to deliver to the people who are going to pick up your title and play it. Because if you deliver a subpar experience, then the reception is going to be awful. Just a reality.
Agreed. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Sorry, just I ranted like hell.
Like I watched the interview with the Obsidian developers, and my 2 cents on it, they never said a 60 option is not going to happen at launch. They just said performance modes. That's at the end of the development. I still think there's a possibility it's going to
I
launch
think so.
February with a 60 FPS mode. Like they got around 6 months left to optimize it. Now they've seen the outrage from the fans, from the players, from the pony bots.
Prioritize it.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it's gonna happen. I think it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I think so too. I think we're definitely getting a 60, and I think there's no point crying and screaming. We've got plenty of other games to play in the meantime, and then we can think about
Absolutely.
later on.
And I'm glad they've been transparent upfront with us. Like it's not gonna be a surprise at launch day only 30. I'm glad they've
Yeah.
been transparent.
I am too. And sadly, we do have some sadder news around that. But anyone else have anything they want to add about 30 FPS on Avowed?
I just want to say thank you to Xbox and the first party studios for being transparent. They could easily beat around the bush. They could easily lie. They could easily not be upfront. They was upfront with Redfall, 30 FPS, albeit a little too late. They was upfront with Starfield off rip. You know what I'm saying? They was upfront
Absolutely.
with a plethora of games, and they continue to be upfront. They upfront with Avowed right here as well. So
Yeah.
if you have a console, I think you should shut the fuck up and play your games, right? Because if you want to be this
Facts.
graphic whore or this frame rate whore, hey, go spend thousands of dollars on a PC and shut the fuck up and play how you want to play. But until then, as long as you're spending $3.99, $4.99 for a in-home console, I think we should be grateful for games that just run and look well in a world where it's so many unoptimized games launching back to back to back, having to be, like I said, look at Wukong, biggest game of the year, runs and look like shit.
Yeah.
You know, what else can we say? I'll take a solid 30 FPS quality visual mode with all the bells and whistles day one over 2 half-baked graphics modes. So you got the 30 FPS mode, but it got poor frame pacing, right? And then you got the 60 FPS mode, but it keeps dropping. It has poor input lag and shit like that. So it's really like sometimes pick
why
your
do a
poison.
balance mode? They should have just done a quality and performance and focused on two options for optimization on a console. Don't split it and go 3. You know?
Definitely, I agree.
All right. Well, sadly, we have a divided community again. It was leaked earlier in the week before Gamescom came out, or earlier last week, that rumored Indiana Jones was going to be coming out to PlayStation 5, and it was confirmed on opening night live at Gamescom that it is getting a PS5 release in spring of 2025. So that's probably maybe like 5 months after the Xbox and PC version that gets delivered on Game Pass in December. But it has divided the community again because it's talking about, hey, there's not a lot of transparency around. You should have just told us that this was always coming to PlayStation, but you didn't. You implied it that it wasn't, especially at the beginning of the year when they're talking about those first 4 games. And if you actually listen to what Phil Spencer had to say at the time, it was just those 4 games and they were thinking about it, and there's a lot of people defending, a lot of people just outright going, I'm gonna move off Xbox and maybe just go PC or go to PlayStation. Clute, what was your take on the news of Indiana Jones going to PlayStation 5? Now, granted, this game looked fantastic and it's gonna be a fantastic game. Every time I see this game, it looks better, but it is an IP that is generally been third party up until what we knew up until this point, and now we know it is again third party. But Clute, what is your take on this? Were you upset? Were you surprised? Or are you thinking everyone's just crying for no reason?
Absolutely. First of all, this game, Indiana Jones, it looks absolutely amazing in my opinion. It's currently my most anticipated game for the rest of 2024. I'm really looking forward to it. But these guys, they need to chill the fuck out for a minute. Listen, everyone, before the Bethesda acquisition was finalized, ain't nobody expected this game to be exclusive anyways. Everybody said back then this game was in development. Bethesda made the deal with Disney prior to the Xbox acquisition, it's gonna remain multiplat anyways. So I'm seeing this as a positive. At least we're getting 5 months of exclusivity out of it. At least we're getting it on Game Pass. I personally, I didn't expect this game to be full-on exclusive forever.
Yeah. I would agree
Absolutely.
with you there. Sorry, try not to cough in your ears, people.
Yes. Can you still hear me?
Literally same. That's why I keep going on mute, guys. Like I said, if you've been here from the beginning, I'm done. It's like me and Panda is taking turns being sick. She was sick the last 2 weeks, last 2 shows.
Sent it to him in the post, and I was like, "Here, have some."
Right. Yeah, hey, blame Panda, yo.
You're feeling left out, Nero? Here you go. Sorry, continue, Clue.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Indiana Jones, it looks absolutely phenomenal, but in my opinion, nobody's talking about how great the game looks, how great the game's gonna be. It's all about this exclusivity nonsense.
Agreed.
Yeah, I'm calling it nonsense. I'm calling it fake outrage, because all of you guys expected Indiana Jones to be multiplat anyways. At least we're getting a few months of exclusivity out of it. That's personally how I'm looking at it. And I get the outrage from some Xbox guys that are saying, why announce the PlayStation date at an Xbox show? First of all, for me personally, it's a Keighley show. It's a neutral showcase.
Yeah.
So I don't expect an Xbox announcement at a neutral showcase. Now look at Doom. Doom: The Dark Ages got announced at the Xbox showcase. Like if they announced the PlayStation version at the Xbox showcase, like they did with Doom: The Dark Ages, if they did that, I'd be mad. But Doom, they only showed the Xbox version. After that, there was a blog post like it's also coming to PS5. I personally, I didn't have any issues with it. And I'm glad Machine Games and Bethesda are upfront about it, because ain't nobody looking forward to another 4, 5, 6 months of rumors about Doom and Gloom. But Xbox is dying, Xbox is dead. Ain't nobody looking forward to that. So me personally, I have no issues with this announcement. I'm glad it's coming to Game Pass, and I'm glad we're even getting a few months of exclusivity out of it. So yeah, that's all my that's what I'm saying. What are you guys thinking about it?
Nero, what do you have to add to this? Because it's been quite a controversial topic since this got announced, and since even the rumor got announced, and now it's been confirmed. But yeah, what are your thoughts on this?
I think it's good for Microsoft. I think it's good for Sony, and I think it's good for the industry. Sony has been struggling this generation to keep up with first-party games, so they are literally the third-party box. I think it's good all around, right? Now, like I said with Clue, I understand people being iffy about announcing but like he said, it's not an Xbox showcase. It's a neutral place. I don't understand how people can be upset or mad. This is a Disney owned IP, and they have different routes, right? So you got Doom releasing day one on PlayStation, because Doom has always been on all platforms. It makes no sense to gatekeep and keep it off. Starfield is a new, fresh IP built from the ground up from Todd Howard, new lore, new everything. That makes sense to keep only on Xbox. Indiana Jones, it's no point of keeping a franchise. Like, only PlayStation is willing to close out money because they want to say fuck the competition. That's a Sony thing. That's not a Microsoft thing. If Sony put Spider-Man 2 and Miles Morales on Xbox right now, they sell easily another 5 to 6 million copies within the first couple months, maybe 10. That game will sell well. They keep choosing to miss out on money. That is a them problem. That's not an Xbox problem. For me, I'm pro it. Give it to them. By time when I finish, by time they get Indiana Jones, I'm gonna be firing up Avowed, right? I'm gonna be firing up some other games. I'm not gonna give a fuck about Indiana Jones. And Indiana Jones is not even the best looking game we have right now. Like I said, personally, I think Stalker 2 looked better. Granted, that's not first party.
Perfect
I
Dark.
think Avowed looked better. I think I think so many games. I honestly think that Indiana Jones is the least Like, that's not saying it's a bad game or it don't look good, but for me personally, my palette of games, I'm looking forward to playing Indiana Jones, but it's not a make or break. I'm ready to jump out the window.
It's hard though. We're
Personally,
looking at a compressed file on YouTube anyway, so the version that we end up playing is still going to look better natively on our systems than what we see on YouTube. Yeah.
personally, I'd rather swap Indiana Jones and Avowed release dates. You know, I know they say they push back Avowed because of a stacked window, but personally, I'd rather play Avowed. But that's just my taste. I think it's cool that it's going to PlayStation. I've changed my tone and I've changed my tool.
Like Nero, let me add this to you.
Yes, sir.
I hope
I'll be right
personally
back.
people are gonna get mad at me for saying this, but I hope Starfield is going to PS5. Like, this game deserves the credit it should have gotten at launch anyways. I hope this game goes to PS5, then people can see how amazing this game is, and it's gonna hit a 90 plus Metacritic. That's my prediction. I hope it goes to PS5. I hope it gets the love it deserves.
I definitely do too. And if you really play these games, right, Clue, like how we play these games, then you know these are amazing games, but they will never get their credit because they are Xbox games, right? And it's sad,
Facts,
but
facts.
it's the truth. As much as I love Starfield near and dear, Starfield will never get its credit until it goes to PlayStation. It's sad, but it's true. When it goes to PlayStation, you're gonna see a bunch of why you was wrong about Starfield, why the media was wrong about Starfield, why Starfield is actually amazing. You're gonna see all that type of bullshit, right? And it's sad, but if you literally third place in console sales, right? And you have the least amount of console sales, next gen console sales, why would you neglect yourself from putting your games on more screens? Phil Spencer has been preaching game where you want, play where you want, when you want, where you want for the last few years. So it makes sense for them to like, yo, put their games at the end of the day, they have to pay full price. How can you be mad about anybody? They literally scream support the devs. So you know what Microsoft and Xbox said? They said, yo, stand on that shit, nigga. They said stand on that shit. And I salute them for that. Everybody always want to go support the devs, support the devs. Xbox players don't buy games. You damn right we don't. We got Game Pass. Now you motherfuckers buy it. Now that's exactly what Phil Spencer and Sarah Bonds did. They making them stand on the same talking points. They want to brag about sale charts every fucking day, right? Brag about console sales. Brag about
Collective users.
yeah, they want to brag about sale charts every fucking month, right? So hi, brag about our games charting good. All of our games charted in the PlayStation Store. All of them. Grounded did. Sea of Thieves definitely charted. To this day, Sea of Thieves charted
Over
better.
1 million sales.
Yo, Sea of Thieves charted better than Rise of Ronin and Stellar Blade. So it's like, what are we doing here? I know people don't want to admit this, but can't nobody tell me I'm wrong. If Forza Horizon 5, fuck it. I'm going to say 5, but we can go 4 if we really be honest. But if Forza Horizon 5 goes to PlayStation, that's automatically the best racing game on PlayStation, period. Period. If Forza Horizon 5 goes to PlayStation overnight, PlayStation now has Forza Horizon 5 is now the best racing game, period. Forza Horizon 5 will easily sell 5 to 6 million copies over there, bro. Good games will sell. Period. We just have access to not have to buy our games. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's the only difference.
Facts. Right, let me add this. If I was a PlayStation guy, these guys are saying, yeah, I'm gonna sell my Xbox because all Xbox games are going to PlayStation. No, bro. You should sell your PlayStation because ain't Sony got no games. You're booting up your PS5 in the store. It's full of Xbox games. It's full of Microsoft games. Shouldn't you think like, doesn't have Sony any games? The charts in the top 10. Where's Concord? Where's Helldivers 2? 4 or 5 months after launch, it's gone. Where is it? Gonna boot up your PS5? All you see is Xbox games. I'd say if I was a PlayStation guy, I'd be mad at Sony asking where's the roadmap? Where are your games? Where's the showcase? Where's the super secret extra showcase?
100%.
Where's Sony stuff?
Yeah, they don't have anything because they put all their games into live service and then they cancelled half of them. And now they're having to try and fill that void, which is why I don't think they felt like they could delay Concord till next year, because they were like, we don't really have anything. Astrobot, they've got this year. Next year, they have got Indiana Jones from Xbox, which is really, really cool. It doesn't matter where you choose to play this bloody game, and I think that's what annoys me the most is you are playing it on PlayStation, you're still paying Microsoft for this IP. And I think the Disney deal was 100% why this game ended up going to PlayStation anyway. We saw what happened with Spider-Man, and the game cost $300 million to make, and they had to make a profit, and they had to give so much to Disney for the utilization of that IP. And I think that's why we are seeing what we're seeing now, is making sure that they are not in the same boat that Insomniac was with Sony's deal for a Disney IP. At least for another title. And this game, or this IP, has been third party. It's been everywhere anyway. And so it's just nice that these other people who choose to play on the platform that they play on get to experience it. Yes, it's later, and that's what we expect because it's a first party title. It's launching into Game Pass day one. It's going onto PC, etc. And it goes to Xbox first because that's where it is. And they're willing to do that and give us a little bit of time with the game so that we are getting some acknowledgement around the acquisition of the ZeniMax acquisition. We're getting something out of it. What is so disappointing, and you called it out earlier, is the amount of people who the discourse around this game going to PlayStation, how they're like, I want to leave Xbox, I'm going to go PC, I'm going to get PlayStation. I'm like, what about all the games that you own digitally? What about all the money you've already put into that ecosystem?
That's why I can't look at them like real gamers.
It's just a fuck you moment at that point. You're like,
these games
buy
aren't
money.
real gamers.
Yeah, and
those are fake gamers. No real gamer will give up their library of games they built years of buying and building just because other gamers are available to buy your games years after the fact.
You want to say
that is the biggest fake gamer shit ever.
I want to spend $70 on a game when I'm already on Game Pass Ultimate, or I'm already can experience the Game Pass, and it's a lot cheaper for me to do it that way. No, I want to go and spend $70 on the game and buy a new platform or whatever. It just doesn't make sense, and it's just a lot of... It annoys me that the discourse is about this game, the fact that it's now coming to PlayStation, it's no longer an exclusive. It's taking away from what the devs have done. Machine Games have done a fantastic job. The game looks amazing. I love Indiana Jones as an IP itself, and I'm so excited to play the game, but it's trying to overshadow it. And what was so annoying when we first saw this game, actual gameplay show, was the discourse from the PlayStation community trashing it and trying to downplay this game. And now we're seeing an opposite thing where they're actually excited to play it. I'm like, so you were just upset that it was an Xbox exclusive. Yep. So you really aren't truly a gamer. You just want to console war the shit. So just the hell out of everything because you're a piece of crap. That's what's so frustrating, is just seeing the hypocrisy and the flip-flopping and the back and forth. And I understand that people are like defending it and so on and so forth. It's still a game at the end of the day. Microsoft is still getting the money for it. And they've been very clear that eventually hardware is going to be a thing of the past. You can access their games anywhere you want. And as long as you've got access to Game Pass, you will be able to access it. When we're talking about handhelds in the future, we're talking about the possibility of Steam being on a handheld as a storefront. We're talking about Epic Games being a storefront, maybe PlayStation Plus having a storefront, and you just have access to every streaming service or storefront that you want, and it doesn't matter where you choose to access it. Yep. The hardware that you have makes it available for you to play the games that you want to play, and console warring be damned.
And I say this, I said it before and I say it again. If you think that Sony can continue to sit back and watch Microsoft games chart on their own stores and not eventually feel like, okay, because it's like Sony is really doing themselves a disservice. Sony should be doing the game by game cases too. You know, the sales that they can get from Days Gone being ported over to Xbox can potentially help fund a Days Gone 2, which a lot of people, myself included, would love to see from them. But they refuse to greenlight it, right?
Should have done it.
Games that don't do well over there, how much would it hurt you to just throw that over here? I guarantee you, if Concord comes to Game Pass, they will have more concurrent players through Game Pass than they have on PC and PlayStation combined.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So for the games that don't do well, just like, Last of Us remake, you keep reselling the same games to your fan base for what? Why not resell those very same games to a whole new audience that has never got to experience them potentially? You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying Sony put your games in Game Pass. No, you charge $70 over here just like you charge your own fan base, and watch the profits go up. And if people think Sony can sit back and willingly miss out on all this money when they have flop after flop after flop on their hands, it's just not going to work out that way. It's not going to work out that way. Everybody is realizing it. You got Square Enix realizing it. That's why you got Final Fantasy 16 going to PC. Eventually, they want to get it over to Xbox as well. But I'm sure some contract obligations that's stopping that shit from coming to Game Pass right now. If they could put that on Game Pass right now,
right?
I guarantee they would.
They're a business at the end of the day. They've spent $7 billion on the ZeniMax acquisition, and so they've got to make some of that stuff back. I even assume that we're probably going to have a timed exclusivity, and I think most of us did when it comes to Blade, because of the Disney deal that they will have had to do with that as well. So you're probably going to get an exclusivity time period for Xbox before it eventually goes to PlayStation. But that's the reality of the situation is you can't, the market has changed so much that you can't just rely on exclusives nonstop to keep your business afloat and keep pulling people in. You need a continuously I would say injection of games nonstop. And yes, they can have some exclusivity to kind of add that little cherry on top situation for why you want to maybe play on this particular ecosystem or maybe just access Game Pass. They've got to give you a reason to go, hey, I want a sub. And there's a few Easter eggs or a few little things in there that add that little bit extra to go, yes, I'm going to do that. But they've also got to make sure that that the whole
you know what I would love to do?
industry
I'm sorry.
stays healthy. Sorry.
This is so random, and I hate to cut you off because you was cooking.
You're
but
right.
What I would love for them to do, right? Every time a game boot up on PlayStation, you should have a ad logo saying "Play in Game Pass Day One," and when PlayStation players click it, it should lead them to the Xbox website, and it should, hey, you can play Game Pass via Fire Stick, Series S or X, and it should have options to buy all of that. And I think that you should still get the Game Pass logo on every game that's in Game Pass first party that goes to PlayStation, just to let their fans know
it's always there.
That is there.
MLB The Show has the PlayStation logo on it when it loads up on Xbox. And all of the ones that have gone over from Xbox to PlayStation have had the Xbox logo on them, including like Minecraft on the Switch, Xbox, right? And so it is slowly telling people that there are these games. I also think it means that you'll get a lot of PlayStation gamers watching an Xbox event just to look at what potentially could be coming. And I know we talk about like some of the messaging is off and they need to be a lot clearer, and I agree that they do, but I think that it's going to become pointless with the way that the industry is moving, the way technology is moving. And I think Xbox is much more, or Microsoft is much further ahead of ready to deliver on what the future of gaming is going to look like than PlayStation is, because they're still trying to transition people over to that. And I know that there are people who aren't ready for what is happening, but if you are a gamer and you like games, you should be okay with other people accessing it, so a game doesn't die and a developer doesn't die.
Look, you can't be anti devs getting fired and anti studios closing down, but then turn around and be anti games going to more platforms and more potential buyers. It's like, yo, you got to pick a side. It's either you care about the devs or you don't care about the devs. You can't be in between. You can't in one breath say, oh, I care about the devs being shut down, and then turn around and be like, no, keep those games over here. Like that makes no sense. For the health of the industry and the health of Xbox, games should be played by as many people as possible. And I love that Microsoft is doing this. Microsoft is always leading the industry forward. And I'm sorry that you pea-sized brain motherfuckers can't understand that. I'm sorry.
They couldn't do exclusivity like that, right? Looking at it, the health of the industry, everything that's happening, you're like, for us to stay here and still deliver the games, and that's the main thing, is they have invested so much into games, so much into developers, and they're delivering games to us that's what we're there for. Like,
Mhm.
I'm here because I know that I'm going to get all these games from Xbox, so I'm happy. Am I a little annoyed that things are going to PlayStation? Mainly, yes, because of the fact that of the way that PlayStation has sort of done what they've done in the business and in the industry over the last 20 odd years. The way that when Xbox came in, they were like, how do we really destroy them type situation. But they can't be doing that anymore. We looked at what happened to Square Enix and how they've had to go, like, we need to go multiplat. We can't just
Absolutely.
continuously go exclusivities for PlayStation because Square Enix isn't going to exist for much longer if they keep doing that, right?
And if
If
you
this
look, it's two
PlayStation
different
exclusivity,
strategies.
yeah, go ahead.
You know,
Yep.
Xbox is here to grow, and PlayStation is here to destroy. PlayStation want to destroy the competition. Xbox is just worried about self growth.
Yeah.
You know, whether that's having more screens with Xbox logos on it, you know, being able to play your games wherever. It's two different strategies. And you have to ask as a consumer, which strategy is better for me? As a consumer, as a PlayStation consumer, which is better for you? Sony putting money and effort into knocking down Xbox, or Sony putting money and effort into just building a better feature for PlayStation?
As a PlayStation consumer, what is better for you? Sony agreeing and making a deal with Xbox to put more games on your platform so you get more things to play, because right now there's only really there's like some games, but in comparison to what Xbox is delivering first party wise, not comparable. And it's so interesting to see it's the switch over and it completely flipped, because PlayStation used to be in that space where they had so many first party and they don't right now. And it would have been so nice to see PlayStation and Xbox come to agreements in the past and go, hey, well, we're going to give you a timed exclusive and we're going to put some games on your platform because you're needing them as well. But sorry, Clue, you were going to add something before. What were you going to add?
Absolutely. Listen, if this PlayStation exclusivity was so sustainable, so profitable, then why is the entire industry moving away from it? Like Konami, back in the day, Metal Gear Solid was a PlayStation exclusive. Now the remake of Snake Eater is coming to Game Pass. Why? Bloodborne is a PlayStation exclusive. Now, From Software, very smart as they are, they stopped doing PlayStation exclusivity. Elden Ring sold 25 million copies. No way in hell they would have sold 25 million by staying PlayStation exclusive. No way. Like Sega Atlas. They're porting all of their games, like Persona, Yakuza games. I finished all of them and played all of them. The Yakuza games are fantastic, all on Xbox right now. That's what you see. The new games, the new Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth, is doing great on Xbox. In the first day, it sold 1 million copies. Like, they moved away from PlayStation exclusivity. Like, the entire industry is moving away from this exclusivity windows. Like, risk is getting too high. These prices are going up and up and up. I don't see the point in any third-party publisher want to be exclusive on either PlayStation or Xbox. Like, every third-party publisher at least has to be multi-platform from day
At
one.
least has to be on PC day one.
Absolutely.
They can't not be on PC.
Absolutely. And also the fact about these Xbox games going multi-platform. Like, some of the Xbox homies are saying to us, like, what is Sony giving us back? Now, first of all, Sony is giving us back games as well. MLB The Show, day one in Game Pass, day one on Xbox. Like, me personally, I still think Helldivers 2 is going to Xbox. Maybe not this year, maybe next year. But you
Final
have to
Fantasy
understand
16 eventually.
Microsoft is playing 4D chess at this point. Like, are you gonna make a deal with the owner of the building? What Microsoft is doing right now, me personally, what they're doing with the next generation Xbox, they're gonna break into the house and they're gonna steal everything. You know how? I think Steam is gonna end up in the next generation of Xbox, and they're gonna get every single PlayStation game on Xbox through Steam. Sony can do anything about that if that actually happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my point about it.
Sorry. I think it's just really important, like, in the chat, people saying, like, you can't do exclusivity anymore, right? And they're 100% correct. The only people who are still getting success in that is the Nintendo Switch, and that is because those IPs are so I mean, they never miss. and they just have such good attachment rates because they always deliver really good games. And they're not half-assing it on the release, so the optimization is awful and people complaining and trying to get a refund and so on and so forth. But they've found their own little niche. They've got their dedicated IPs, and people stay there for that, and they keep iteratively improving and delivering what they deliver. But one day, Nintendo is going to have to change that as well. They don't need to right now, but they're probably looking at what's happening. They're doing deals with the Xbox. And I love the fact that Nintendo and Microsoft have a good relationship. And I like the fact that PlayStation and Microsoft are starting to get a better relationship. There's still animosity there, and a lot of that is from the consumers as well. Because like we've been conditioned in a way to go this versus this and this versus that when we talk about phones, where you're looking at Samsung versus Apple, and it's just conditioning, and it's always going to be that case. When you purchase something, you like to think that you've made a good choice, and sometimes you look at other people's and there's that judgment there and such, but there's no judgment on this side. Indiana Jones going to PlayStation, kudos to them. What are they getting back from this? More money to make more games, to keep us happy. And that is the reality of the situation at the end of the day. And Indiana Jones looks fantastic. Have that as the conversation. Ignore the exclusivity conversation. We get to play a great game. I get to listen to the Indiana Jones music. And that is my love for that. I love that IP so much. Grew up with it. It's like me playing like Star Wars. Love it so much. Absolutely thoroughly enjoy it. And so
Indiana Jones is gonna be so amazing. Absolutely.
Me listening to like Tale of Monkey Island, the Lucas music for that, like when that came on and that got put into
Sea of Thieves.
Sea of Thieves. As soon as I heard the music, I was like dead.
Wow.
I love
the Monkey Island franchise.
Monkey Island.
That single expansion was so amazing. I really enjoyed it.
Well, because I played with people who'd never played Monkey Island games, and sorry to move over to this, but like they were like, "What? Why is all this puzzle stuff that I have to do?" And I'm like, "You've never played a Monkey Island game, have you?" And I'm like,
"That's the point."
That's what they were. They were so hard. I love them so much. But chat, I can't even say it. Did you enjoy Gamescom? I hope you did. What game are you most excited for? I probably walked away from being most excited for maybe like Atom Fall and like Sniper Elite and then Squirrel with a Gun. Those were my big highlights. Like there's lots of other games that I was super excited for, but I think we're gonna start heading out. It is very early in the morning for Clute, and thank you so much for being here.
Bro, you absolutely killed it tonight.
You were amazing.
Yeah, thanks.
Please
thank you for having me.
Give him his flowers. He's done an amazing job. His third podcast. Fantastic.
And Clute, please let them know where they can find you. Please give this guy a follow, man. If you don't want to see the gloom and doom and you want to see facts and you want to see just what a real Xbox gamer looks like, please let them know where they can follow you at, brother.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thanks for the shout out. Thanks for the invitation. You can find me on Twitter. Clute. Find me over there. The same profile pictures I have here. I'm in every single Xbox YouTube chat. So you can find me there at Bell114. Hit me up. That's me. You can find me every Sunday evening, Gaming Arcadia with Asa. We've been playing Call of Duty. We're playing Forza Motorsport. We're playing some actual games instead of only talking about it. So join us. Join us every Sunday evening. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for having me. Absolutely.
I loved having you on. Nero, where can everyone find you? And then do you want to say anything else out to the chat or about the show before we head out?
Next Gen Nero on all platforms. Personal YouTube, Next Gen Nero, right here on the Gamepass Daily channel. I just want to say thank you to everybody, yo. Like I said, this is a little rough episode for me. Head been killing me, throat been kind of real stuffy, tough to breathe as well. So I'm just happy to be here, yo. I love our community. I love my co-host Panda. I love our guests. I love everything we're building here. So I just want to say thank you guys for all the support, the comments, the feedback behind the scenes, in front of the scenes. All I ask is leave a like. Drop a like button for me, Panda for Clute. We doing this. We
Share it
holding
out.
it down. Yeah, share it out. Share with a friend. Even if you can't catch this live, listen throughout the week. It's 7 days between the podcast episodes. So even if you can't catch us live, or we had a couple people in the chat that came by early but had other things to do, and it was like, hey, just stopping by to show some love. We even got a super chat that said something like that, right, Panda? So we just appreciate all the support. We appreciate all the love. We're gonna keep doing this.
Hashtag fuck IGN.
Yeah, hashtag fuck IGN. Hashtag
It's been a while
fuck
since we said
PlayStation.
that.
Yeah, hashtag fuck the pony bots as well. Fuck them all.
Absolutely.
Fuck them all.
Facts.
Don't lost my train of thought. But where can they find you, Nero? Did you already say that? Maybe
Yeah,
I'm
I
going
did.
crazy.
I did. Look,
Oh, you
Panda
did?
is
I am going
spiraling.
crazy.
She's hungry. She's hungry. She's spiraling. It's your turn to tell
I
everybody where to
am
find you.
hungry. I haven't actually got that up at the moment, but I am. I just want to say thank you, everybody, so much. It's been a great show. My energy levels have been much better this week. I'm finally kind of kicking that cold 100%. Still a little bit of a niggly cough, but I'll get there. It's been a good week for news. It's been a great week to jump online and play with your friends. And it's just thank you, chat. You've been amazing. It's been great. I was laughing so much through just reading some of the chats. And I just want to say another shout out to Clute. Thank you so much for joining us. You've been fantastic. Nero, my co-host, as per usual. And we miss you, Rhetri. We really do. But we'll be back next week with some other great takes. No doubt, hopefully Nero will be back on his game, ready to really throw down, put his tinfoil hat on. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on Xbox Red Dead Panda with the same profile picture. And yeah, it's been a great week, great show, and thank you, everybody. Goodbye for now.
Yes. Catch you guys in the next one.
Later,
Bye.
guys.